the 304th day of the sex offender administration. Donald Trump signed a bill Wednesday to compel the Justice Department to release files related to Jeffrey Epstein. Now it's up to Pam Bondi to release only the pages of the files that do not involve Donald Trump. Both pages. Ruthia Hay, the founder, and David Brody, a former top doctor at Dunn Global, were convicted by a San Francisco jury of conspiring to distribute Adderall and other stimulants in the first federal prosecution of alleged illegal drug distribution by a telehealth company. The two defrauded people of over $100 million if you add her all up. The Trump administration is drafting an executive order that would direct the Justice Department to sue states that pass laws regulating artificial intelligence, because we wouldn't want to deprive AI of its alienable rights. David Maltinsky, a former longtime FBI employee, is suing the agency and the U.S. Department of Justice, alleging he was fired over displaying a Progress Pride flag in his office, according to a lawsuit filed with the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. That wasn't the first time that Maltinsky's Pride flag got him in trouble. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines on November 20th, 2025, the 304th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go with zero. What the hell? I'm a zero type of guy. I don't know. There's coffee.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Oh, damn. Hot coffee.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah, and then
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know. You want to laugh at me coughing and wheezing? That's what I'm going to be doing. Time is 4 to 10. The damn sign. I didn't move it since last night. Every day, so a gremlins come in here and move signs on me. Good morning, folks. You have tuned in to Watch the Old Man Die. Wheezing and coughing and sneezing and runny nose. Listen, I got man flu. Man flu is like something, if a woman gets it, it's like, it's a minor cold. If a man gets it, it's, I'm dying. I'm going to make it. And so that's what I got. So I'm dying. Today, Elizabeth Croydon, better known as Queen Elizabeth, is going to join us, but I don't know when. It could be 9 o'clock, 9:15, could be 10:15, could be, I don't know. It could be, I don't know. But that's all right. I don't know if I'm going to make it anyway. I really don't. I don't know if I told you this, but I have man flu. Did I tell you that? Also, I can't smoke weed, which is not a good thing. The coughing and the stuff. I can't smoke weed. It alters who I am because I am part weed. Anyway, I am sick of Last night I had a good program, good interview with Diana Colleen, who has written a book, They May Be Saviors. They Might Be Saviors. And it was about billionaires. And it proposes, it's speculative fiction, but it proposes a really good idea, which is appealing to their massive egos. Like Elon Musk, he wants to go to Mars because he wants to be remembered in history books as the guy who made us a multiplanetary system. And her position in the speculative fiction book is to convince him you could be really a hero and be remembered for all time if you deal with climate change and the stuff that we are, the real issues that we're dealing with in the world here on Earth, where we have water and where we have an atmosphere and where we don't have deadly radiation and don't have to live underground and it's not freezing everywhere all the time. So maybe that sounds like an interesting idea. Like, hey, Elon, read the book, because here's an idea. You know how you're a friggin' egomaniac. This could soothe your ego. Anyway, good show last night. But after the show, we were talking about psychedelics because she did some psychedelic therapy, and she interwove that experience into her speculative fiction book. And then after the program, I took some NyQuil, and I took a little trip myself. Now, NyQuil is not a psychedelic, but it could be. I'm just saying, it could be, and it is if you're in a bad enough state anyway. So that's a morning wrap up for you. If you're like me, you're just sick, if you're like me, see a doctor. You're just sick of all the clickbait every day. Well, 5 days a week. When I come in this room, the first thing I turn on YouTube, I got a cat going between my legs. All right, stop it. That's not good. I come in this room and I turn on YouTube, and there's clickbait. All these left-wing pundits every day they're telling me this is the end. The term-ending gaffe. Donald Trump suffers stroke in front of the camera, or it's over-promising and under-delivering. And every day I'm stupid enough to click on it, and then I leave in the comments, "You suck." Sorry about that. Anyway, I get angry because they are overpromising. Don't tell me, don't tell me something that you don't deliver don't put something in the thumbnail and the title that you don't deliver during the video. It's just that simple. Jack Cocherella, he does it every single day, every single video he puts out. It's just bullshit in the title and the video. So I don't know. Are you like me or you're not? Probably not. We have a new sponsor. I didn't put a commercial yet together, but if you got a small business or even a personal loan, Cardiff. Let me see if I can bring this up. Cardiff Financing, CardiffAffiliate.com, small business loans. You can get a small business loan right now. Go there. The link is in the description, I believe. And you can use this code that's down there, ID MindDog and all that stuff, and get yourself a loan. Do that, because I'm getting rid of Fundwise. Fundwise it wasn't working out. Nobody was qualifying on Fundwise. I think you can qualify if you go to Cardiff. I'll have a commercial for you ready after if I survive this man flu, which is I'm doubtful. But so in the meantime, speaking of psychedelics.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
I got cat issues. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now is a man who doesn't look a day over 66. GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, MindDog TV. I'm sorry, Good Morning America, MindDogTV.com.
That's a cup.
When you hit 66, the first thing that goes is your ability to read the last word of a sentence.
Yeah.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Order your 2026 Mind Dog quote for the day calendar. Today's quote of the day is, "Maresy dotes and dozy dotes and little kids eat free on Epstein's Island." Go to MindDogTV.com/merch and make more investments, for the children. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
For the kids. Did you ever do psychedelics? Mushrooms?
No.
And
No.
Huh. Never ever even tried one. None of it. No. Mind bloom or whatever, ketamine. No. Huh. Interesting.
I've had too many mental experiences to scare me that I don't, without drugs, just natural things occurring in my brain that scare me enough that I don't ever want to do something like that without reassurances that somebody could bring me back, and there's nobody I trust to bring me back.
Bring me back. Well, I have done it once or twice, or a few billion
or a
times.
dozen, once or twice, or a dozen times.
No, few several thousand. But I'm shocked last night because the lady who was talking about her book, she was talking about psychedelic therapy is not legal anywhere in the United States. I thought, well, I know people, and she's a psychedelic facilitator, and I know people who have gone to therapy, and I've interviewed people who practice and use psychedelics in their therapy, but apparently it's only decriminalized. And I'm like, well, decriminalized, you still get a fine or something. She said, no, they don't come after you because it's decriminalized, but they could, but they don't. So
it's like in places where pot is legal in the states, the feds could come after you, even if the states don't.
Oh, really? So they could be knocking down my door and arrest me for stuff I can't even smoke.
Yeah, but they won't. They shouldn't. But then again, they did beat your ass in front of that bodega. So
it was said Mexican deli. It didn't say bodega.
It was a bodega because it's easier for me to remember.
Okay. So
that's how fables get changed over the years. It's like, Jesus wasn't in a cave, right? He was in a bodega. And they go, yeah, but cave is easier to remember.
Oh, but he was in a cave though, wasn't he? No.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I think you are. You're maybe I'm wrong. You look kind of old. I don't know. You feel any older?
No.
You sound.
I feel younger.
Wow.
Because we kicked ass last night at trivia.
I gotta tell you, the rep sounded a little low energy this morning. Did something happen to him?
He's like that when you wake him up at 3 a.m. to read.
Oh. Generally, he's more high energy than he was this morning.
No, I think, and this is just me guessing because I don't know for certain. It was almost like he was worried about going. It was really weird, the things he was thinking about when he was reading. I think like last time he felt like he read it too fast, and it was faster. And I know what he was trying to do. He saw that he had hit like the 2-minute 15-second mark, and he's trying to get it down to at least 2:07. And so he read some parts faster than he would have ordinarily done that. Because he tries to. Okay, first of all, I write everything, so nothing is more than 1:59. I don't know how the Reverend stretches it out to 2:15. I mean, there is like 10 seconds and added 10 seconds for the but you don't even do the second one, because as soon as he stops talking, you fade in the other thing. So that last 5 seconds doesn't count. And so, but the Reverend gets concerned about time. And in doing that, he fucks up. He's a pain in my ass.
Yeah.
And sometimes he questions my jokes. He slows down if he thinks, he's like, I don't know if is that funny? And I'm like, bitch, you questioning me?
Is this the first time anybody has ever questioned your jokes?
He has look, first of all, that man would be nothing without me. Okay. So he has no right to question my jokes.
I think
I mean,
that's a pattern. I would say that I don't know. Maybe Blind Mike would be nothing without you too. I mean, you'd have no show, nothing to talk about. Pretty much a thing. So yeah.
Well, he must have something to talk about because I don't think he's mentioned me in like months because I haven't gotten a thing.
I don't know. I you know what? I haven't been checking, and maybe I should check to see because
No, you don't have to check. I'm just saying if he mentions me and puts me in one of their things, I get an alert. I think.
really.
Well, I think I used to. I don't know. Maybe I don't.
Let them
Or maybe
know.
they talk about me without putting me in the thing.
Yeah, but I'm certain that chat room talks about you because they're obsessed. And I watched the thing yesterday with Joe Rogan and David Pakman. It was an older interview before Rogan moved to Austin, but Rogan was saying about people who just talk about people all the time and then get their following ends up harassing the person they're talking about. He was talking about Steven Crowder and some guy who was, I don't know, gay or a feminine man, and he was saying Steven Crowder wasn't mentioning the guy by name all the time, but his audience started to become a rabble and just stalk the guy and harass him. And I thought, well, Rogan does that too. It seems to be epidemic, and it seemed like Rogan was calling for regulation against it. Like you can't really regulate that. I mean,
No.
but and where the discussion was around where's the line of responsibility if your people go out, not like, let's just say you didn't come out and say go throw a Subway sandwich at G.D. Fenderson, but then they just took
And
it
I would
upon
say
them.
make sure it's chicken or turkey because I don't eat beef or pork because I'm gonna catch that motherfucker.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna catch it and I'm gonna
Subway.
eat it. No,
I don't know. I would just bat it down and say, go to a real deli. Go get me a
I
real
mean,
sandwich.
okay, I'm partial to Quiznos. If I have a choice between Quiznos and Subway,
Did you have real delis like Subway?
look, I don't know where the real delis are around here. It's not okay. When I lived in wherever I used to live before here,
Sing Sing.
okay, there were like some Jewish delis near my house that I used to love to go to.
Yeah.
Especially back when I was eating meat. Oh my God, there was this one Jewish deli. I can't remember the name of it now. I think it was called the Jewish Deli.
Back
And
when I
they
was
had some of the
eating meat.
best corned beef sandwiches. I
Ew.
mean,
No, not surprising. Corned beef at a Jewish deli. I mean, I could see at an Irish deli corned beef sandwiches, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bigot. Maybe that's the thing. But corned beef is an Irish thing. Reubens are a Jewish thing. Reubens. And I
oh
don't
yeah. Now, when the best Reuben I've ever had was in Florida when my wife and I used to live down there, and it was I always say this fish wrong, and I think because I used to say it wrong on purpose for laughs. It's a grouper sandwich. I used to say groper. I used to say groper first, groper or groper Reuben, but it's a grouper Reuben. And I don't like seafood. My wife would tell you I'm not a seafood eater, but that sandwich was so good. It wasn't even like seafood. It was just a good ass sandwich. And there's another sandwich I used to eat called the fish special at a place called Lakeside Trout in Baltimore. And the fish special sandwich was so good. I used to love it, So those are two sandwiches that have seafood in them that I actually really, really like. Also like the lobster sandwiches that my wife
lobster
occasionally.
sandwich.
Well, I forgot what it's actually called. It has a real name, not a lobster sandwich. It's lobster roll. They call them lobster rolls.
Uck. That's all I got to say about it. It's just uck.
We have the beef man in incognito. I mean, and not incognito in the waiting room.
No, we don't. We don't have no beef man in no waiting room. I don't see any beef man in no. I'm looking at the waiting room right now. I don't see a beef man down there. What are you talking about?
Okay. What's up?
Sup?
Good morning, beef man.
Good morning.
Who's not in the waiting room? I'm a little sick. Stand back because I got a wheeze. I got a cough. Up all night. Something about this cold.
Something about Mary.
Something about this man flu I got increases. I'm not drinking. It increases my pee. I get up every 4 minutes It's like hell's clockwork to pee during the night. And it's like, what the hell's going on? I'm not drinking anything. I'm
Well,
John didn't come here to give you free medical
Well, it's even
advice,
worse.
Matt.
Oh my gosh, that's because you're working at a higher metabolic rate, probably. So you're filtering fluids faster through your kidneys. So that's why you're peeing so much.
Wow.
You are sick, my friend. I can hear your wheeze.
Yeah, I know. I'm bad.
Those of you that are ill, please go to Amazon One Clinic on Amazon, and you too can connect with a healthcare provider either on video or on chat.
I did not know any of that. No, I'm definitely not going to do it.
That way you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. And then you too can go on there and tell them to give you an antibiotic, even though you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. I want a biotic. Can I get a biotic? I'm not anti.
Now,
I'm pro.
Go to the store and get a probiotic and shit yourself. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
John, I'm assuming you really weren't listening to the news at the top of the hour, but one of the stories is about two guys who had a company called Done Something, but they were a telehealth company, and over the years they have defrauded people of over $100 million.
I can see that,
and they just been found guilty.
Excellent. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, because there's a lot of companies out there that are extremely unethical, and we deal with it on a daily basis where we'll interact with patients that have been on these other platforms, and you listen to them with what they tell you, and you're like, holy fuck, seriously, you fell for that bullshit and you're paying how much? That's garbage. Not a lot of the telehealth services they do. If you really want to use telehealth, or just look at the back of your insurance card and call your insurance will tell you what system you're actually tied in with, and they probably have telehealth. Your own primary care doctor probably has a telehealth service that they use. So
yeah, John Hopkins. My doctor's with John Hopkins, and I can use their telehealth thing.
Yeah, my doctor is Vinny Boombatz. My doctor, Vinny Boombatz.
He used to be he lost his license, and then he was doing some veterinary health, and now he just helps the mob. But it doesn't exist.
Right. Got the latest.
God, you're wheezing like
I know.
Crazy, my dog.
I know. I'm in bad shape here. I could die, and that would be good.
I think it's complications from an ice beating. I think you should.
I think he's right.
Well, speaking of that, with the latest poll results from YouGov are in, 53% of Americans disapprove how ICE is handling its job. 53%.
It's actually a higher number, but the other people are afraid that ICE will beat them if they find out that they gave their opinion.
This is probably true. I mean, I heard from my nephew yesterday, and he was saying that. Oh, listen to that, wheeze. Saying how prevalent the ICE Gestapo is on Long Island, and he said he's afraid to yell at them, go fuck off, you Gestapo Nazis or whatever, because he's gonna get beat up. So yeah, that's probably a big thing. You like it?
Oh yeah, sounds great. Music to my ears. Now
Yeah.
I have something I did want to bring up today. Actually, I wanted to bring it up yesterday and the day before.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
No. With the Epstein list.
Right.
Okay. This is it's not a real concern of mine, because I say release the names, but I'm thinking in terms of the economy. If there, let's say, because we know there are only like maybe 10 corporations that control like 70% of what we consume, as far as the internet, the news, merchandise, and stuff like that. It's about a handful of corporations. If, let's say, 4 or 5 of those CEOs are on the list, for dirty stuff, bad stuff, I think those stocks might suffer, kind of like Tesla stocks suffered because of Elon Musk and stuff. Do you think if 4 or 5 CEOs are on that list and they release the names, that would hurt our economy because of those? Well, not my economy, because I don't have stock money, but some of the rich people might get hurt because, those
I think more likely they are not. They'll censor the report and the information on it. Just don't let it get out to the public, because they control the information, a lot of the information.
Well, like for Summers, they haven't released it, but Summers pretty much outed himself, right? Summers, he used to be in the government. He was a teacher at Harvard. He used to be a dean, and he outed himself. Says, "Look, I'm going to spend time with my family."
The MAGA people don't care. They just don't care. They care if it's Bill Clinton, but they don't care if it's any. And I don't. Somebody, I think in the Revs report this morning said they're going to release all the pages that don't have Donald Trump. I think it will be all Republicans are being scrubbed from that.
Yeah, they're just going to redact everything they can possibly redact, scrub, whatever they're going to do. We already know.
Well, I don't think it would be all Republicans. I think it would be all Republicans that Donald Trump doesn't have anything against. You know,
Yeah.
like for example, I'm trying to think of a Republican he doesn't like that could possibly be on the list. Let's say Peter Thiel is on the list, because Peter Thiel is the Koch brothers. I think they were against Trump. Let's say the Koch brothers are on the list. He would love for the Koch brothers to be on the list so he could out them. You know. Yeah. So although the Koch brothers may have bended the knee now, it's hard for me to tell who's bended the knee.
Matt, are you making an appointment on Amazon?
No, I'm not.
You should. You definitely should. That
why?
wheeze is not.
Oh, you mean him?
His wheeze is bad, and he needs an inhaler 100%.
It is bad, and it's even worse when I'm laying in bed and I hear it, and it's just like echoing off the walls.
Yeah, it's bad.
Keeping me.
You have any chest pain or back pain?
Yeah, it's you know what, but November. I was thinking November is a good time to die. This time, well,
every day is a good day to die.
Now y'all sound like that the Kryptonian from the Superman movie.
July 15th is not a good day to die.
A good death.
June 11th is not a good day. It's summertime. It's not a good day to die.
A good death is its own reward. That's what they say. A good death is its own reward.
That's right. I mean,
hi, sunshine.
Late fall is the best time to die because you've had your I had a friend who died in on like Memorial Day weekend. I was like, that's the worst time to die. You got summer right before you. Can't you wait till the end of the summer? Enjoy one more summer. I'm a summer guy.
I think it depends on in my philosophy, the best day for me to die would be May 19th.
And why is that?
That's terrible.
Because it's the opposite. It's the exact opposite of my birthday. And in some circles of metaphysics and so forth, that means you don't have to come back. That's one of the things that it's that you don't have to come back, that you've learned all your lessons. If you can, you don't have to.
I never heard that. What religion is that?
Mine. It's actually the Dr.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't that change every year because of how our rotation around the sun and how many minutes are either added or subtracted to the days?
Yeah, it would change. It just
well, if we're going to be that exact, then none of the zodiacs are right because the constellations.
Well, I don't believe in astrology, so
neither do I. But I'm just saying.
Well, you said an exact science. Well, astrology is not a science. So
it is. It's actual science and art and witchcraft.
The actual
addition if you go back far enough.
The actual addition of time is a science.
If you go back far enough in time, witchcraft, science, and art are all the same.
I didn't say witchcraft wasn't true. It's just not a science.
I can't go. Science, you can't go back in time. Time only moves forward, or it doesn't exist at all. I don't know what I'm saying.
Can I ask the Mind Dog a couple more questions? Because I am concerned.
Yes, good.
Mind Dog, do you have any?
I'll
do you have any chest
myself.
pain? You have any chest pain?
No.
You have any upper back pain?
Yes, but that's always. I mean, my whole life.
Does it feel new? I mean, does it feel new? Anything new on one side or the other?
Very lower back, like my ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my.
Well, your lungs aren't in your ass, so I think we're okay there.
Yeah, my ass hurts.
Okay.
I have a hurt ass.
It's sad that Mr.
Yes, you know what? I think I thought I was having appendicitis, or because my right side left towards the back was hurting a little bit. So I don't know.
It's sad that Mr. Bill and GD do not care about my dog self.
What are you doing, Mr.
Oh no!
What is that? A big black finger or cock? I did not know Mr. Bill had a big black cock.
Well,
what do you think what did you think the oh no is for? Oh no!
So he's in. Are you saying he's doing whiteface? He's in whiteface. That's racist.
Well, I think you should be evaluated. That's just me.
At
least get an inhaler for God's sake. If you seriously, because obviously I can't diagnose pneumonia by telehealth. That's just one of those things. Pneumonia has to be diagnosed in person because you actually have to listen to the lungs And the gold standard is to do a chest X-ray.
Oh.
So you can't do that by telehealth.
I'm prone to pneumonia.
Really?
I get it a lot. I've had it a lot when I get cold. So it just
that's not good.
Now, what's the difference between walking pneumonia and, let's say, running pneumonia or hopping pneumonia, jumping pneumonia?
I get driving pneumonia.
I got this one. This one's cool.
Oh, which pneumonia is that?
This is moose knuckle pneumonia.
Oh.
It only affects the vaginal region.
Now,
Well,
I have
at least
monkey,
I'm not
I have
going
monkey pneumonia back there, and piggy pneumonia, kitty pneumonia, elephant pneumonia.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a bunch of finger puppets in there.
Do you have
pigs get pneumonia a lot?
No, I don't have a unicorn.
Wow. I don't know. It feels like it became the Muppets all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
We can't say that. I don't think we're allowed to say that.
We can say Muppets. We just aren't allowed to use them on the show.
Just can't say, because I have a Kermit up there. It's awesome. And Yoda, because that's part of.
Why are there so many?
One of the greatest songs.
Songs about rainbows. Rainbows have nothing to hide.
He sounds great.
I know.
Yeah.
Does he sound good?
Good morning, Ann in California.
Good morning, Ann in California. At least I'm not painting today and going to infect a bunch of old people and give them pneumonia.
Oh, did you wind up going yesterday?
No, it's today. It was.
Oh, that's right. And you say you're not going. What, they canceled you, or you're not going?
Well, I wrote to them. Basically, I said what you said I should say. Basically, I said the same thing: is that I will go if you really need me to go. But my concern is I didn't want to get Allie, who was the main painter on the gig, and all the residents sick. And I also said there's a good chance they won't let me in the building because they do that scan, and they probably could pick up if I'm running a temperature. I think I am running a slight temperature, but whatever. And answering the questions, have you had any cold-like symptoms in the last 2 weeks? I got to tell the truth there. You can't lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people do, though, and then they get in front of you.
Yeah, if you lie, it goes on your permanent record.
Yeah.
No, but people do lie, and then they get in front of you, and you're like, oh, yeah, I lied. I just want
to comedians do that all the fucking time.
I always lie.
They hack on the microphone and then pass it to you.
Well,
and then comedians do the stupid fucking thing. I can't stand comedians that do this.
Oh God! Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, yeah.
I got. What the fuck is wrong with you? Can't you hold it and project? No, just project.
Yeah.
Hold it out here and project. Throw your voice. Don't be going.
It's a nervousness thing. They do that. It just grosses me out.
It's like a beaker.
So bad.
Yeah. So they wrote to me and said, "Don't take care of yourself. We'll get somebody else." And so their steadfast rule, I guess, if you say, because they thanked me for being willing to go sick anyway. I think they've had a lot of people who weren't really sick who just called in the day before and screwed them on gigs, and that's why they have that rule. But I think she believed me that I was really sick, and I was willing to go. I just don't want to make those people sick. And I did bring up that you open up yourself to a lawsuit if I get somebody sick there, and they die. Right.
Yeah.
So
one of the assessment tools I use for you folks out there is if someone is talking to you, but they can't talk to you in a complete sentence because they have to take a breath in between every couple words.
Yeah.
That usually indicates there's an issue.
Yeah. That's me.
What if they are just breathing between the end of the word because the pause between their thoughts is just so long enough that they have to breathe? In other words, they're not stopping the sentence to breathe. They're so cognitively broken that this pause between words is so long that they have to take a breath.
Well, I mean, I could see that your point there, but from an assessment standpoint of doing it for, how long have I been a nurse? For 23 years. I can kind of tell the difference between those two.
Right. And also in any analysis, there's a thing called baseline. So if somebody is like that all the time, you kind of, you take that into account. Like, so you have to look at
look at Mr. I'm a doctor all of a sudden. I'm so
myself. I said in any analysis, it wasn't in medical analysis. In any kind of analysis, you start with a baseline. What is the normal?
Right.
Well, of course you start with the bass line because that's the beat, the bass line and then the drums. That's where you
Exactly.
start. And
You're
then you
right.
add the guitar and the vocals. And
So you have to see if it deviates from the baseline. If it deviates from the baseline, there's a problem there or an issue.
Right, unless you're being not polysyllabic, polyrhythmic, and then it can deviate from the bass line as long as it's supported by the grounding.
Polybius.
Yeah,
it's pronounced
Polybius.
Yeah. He was in Michigan. He's in Michigan right now, I think.
Polybius is?
Yeah, Polybius.
Oh, that sucks. I mean,
I would like to thank Matt for being responsible. That's also why I'm on the show this morning. I had 2 doctor's appointments today, and I rarely get to go to the doctor. But I woke up 2 days ago with a sore throat because my wife is sick. And I was like, God damn it. So I don't want to get my providers sick. So I had to cancel my appointments.
My wife, I think, is typhoid or man flu Mary or whatever she is, because she's not sick, but my grandson and my stepdaughter and her husband are all sick. My wife goes there to take care of them, comes back. I get sick. My wife feels fine. It's
well, wasn't your wife a nurse or is a nurse?
Yeah. But
she's
so I have not
immune system. She's been exposed to shit for her entire adult life. So she was probably sick probably first 3 years. She probably got sick all the time, and now she doesn't.
Yeah. But so I haven't been exposed to anybody who I saw was visibly sick, like directly to them. And I'm feeling like this is an airborne thing with my cough. I feel like, I don't know if it's COVID, but it feels
probably is. If it didn't, if you don't have now, I'm going to say this. If you don't have a fever is not always a good metric, because as we get older, even my age, 52, as we get older, we don't mount as robust as an immune response to have a fever. So a fever isn't really a great metric when people are saying, like, oh, I don't have a temperature. Okay, well, I've had people with really bad pneumonia who are 80 and they didn't have a fever, whatever, when you first see them.
Yeah, but I was actually in my 30s at that time. When my appendix ruptured, I didn't have a fever. And that's
Which
another
is crazy.
The doctor that was the doctor that almost killed me, because he goes, you don't have a fever. So he goes, it must be the flu. I said, no, I'm telling you, my appendix ruptured. I felt it when it happened. He goes, well, that's how I know. He goes, well, that's how I know, because, and he says, where did you feel it? And I pointed. He goes, well, internal organs, you have referred pain, so where do you think you have the pain? It's like heartburn is not, you think it's in your heart, but it's actually your stomach, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and I later learned that like 1% of people can actually feel their organs right where they are. It's roughly 1%, maybe 2%.
Yeah, but they're all Indian.
I'm feeling one of my organs right now.
They're all Indian.
Stop it, because if you get your hands all gooey, you can't type.
I can't type no matter what.
Oh, in that case, go ahead, touch your organ.
Okay. Where is your friend Elizabeth? Our friend Elizabeth, our
maybe
friend of the
second
show.
Hour. Did she say when she was coming in?
No, she didn't. Here's because you brought this up, how your name is not necessarily in the search stuff, doesn't come up with this show, but in YouTube, when I put in Elizabeth Croydon, GD so funny, so GD funny, so whatever, over and over again, like lots of Glenn Fenderson come. I mean, just a list of references to you come up with her name, which is kind of strange. Do you and her have some kind of thing going
on? I guess we have a mutual admiration club, maybe.
It sounds something more than that. I think YouTube thinks you're cheating on your wife with Elizabeth. That's what YouTube thinks, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think YouTube thinks that.
Well, when we ask it, YouTube?
First of all, YouTube would know that I'm totally monogamous. On paper. So.
Isn't that what a cheater would say?
No.
That's exactly what a cheater would say.
Not a responsible cheater.
Winter is, Sunshine says winter is here and a lot of people are sick. Why is that? Why does the flu? Because the weather whether it's cold outside should not affect, because the cold isn't from the cold, it's from bacteria.
Correct.
Right?
No.
Why do we have more flu in fall and winter?
I think we have more physical. Now, maybe we close the doors and windows and the air gets circulated less. I don't know.
Oh, that's
that is like that's the old theory though, and I don't know.
Well, I'm an old
that,
and I would have an old theory.
well, I mean, science evolves, right? And
Yeah.
our thought, and that's what people don't understand is we're always questioning. That's what science is. It's always asking questions, trying to figure out what's going on. And that was the theory because we used to go outside in the summer and people would be outside. But how many people actually go outside during the summer?
Yeah.
I feel like most people spend.
Yeah, but if you don't go outside, your windows may be open.
Maybe.
No, I know that. Like I have cat allergies, and they are much worse when we have the doors and windows closed than it is when like during the fall, during like early fall, spring, summer, But then my allergies of the plant pollen that kicks in, so now I get no relief. Now I'm just
perennial allergies.
You know what?
I have perennial allergies because like when I'm outside, I'm dying. When I'm inside, I'm dying. When I'm in the only place where I can breathe freely without is my car if I put it air on recycle and I just breathe in my own stink in the car.
Yeah.
And in the shower, I'm oh God, it's so great.
Welcome to DNP Talk with the Beef Man on Mind Dog TV.
Now I have one question for you, John, and you don't have to answer here, but I sent you some names that were given to me by Brianna. I didn't know if you, and I asked if you knew any of
names
these
like
people.
Al, Tony, Phil, Bob.
Yeah,
and I messaged you back, and I said I knew one of them, and I got to look up the other ones. I just said I.
Now I got to look to see if I got that message.
Sorry about that.
No,
I will check the other ones out.
Well, the weirdest thing is I got the other day. I got a bunch of messages like they were new in Facebook Messenger. I mean, a bunch of them, and they were from like 2023.
Yeah,
and they all showed up black and new. You know how it is. The new ones come up at the top and they're black until you open them. Bunch of them from 2023.
Wow!
All in one day.
I didn't know that there's different. Remember how there used to just be like one section on your alerts, really, where it just was all kind of lumped in one place.
Right.
But now it's another section because I just have my message.
Yeah, Matt just learned about that.
And there's another section. Like, what is this other section I don't care about? It's not even actually saying anything to me.
I think those are people who reached out to you that you may not know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so they get moved over to another section. And Matt just found out about that also. Matt goes, I have like 1,000 messages over here.
Oh, mine are not that bad, but I was like, what is this?
Yeah. And
now, I check mine, and I've been checking those since the very first time I noticed the envelope. And most of the time, 99% of the time, it's people with porn. Trying to.
I should be checking it out then. Is what you're saying.
I mean, most of the time it's like it's porn, and the weirdest thing it'll be like some guy's name that says like, "Hey
Ron,
GD, what's up?"
The name Ron Kane,
and then you click on it, and it's like, I don't know, cocks that would give mine a run for its money, and I'm like, I'm not interested,
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been researching porn. I mean, not just, watching it, but I've been researching the industry a little bit and reading about it because I was going to do like a section on it for our podcast because we've switched up how we do our podcast a little bit to see if that will change things a little bit.
Right.
And so I've been researching porn and porn addiction and reading about it and reading interviews with former porn stars and that sort of thing. And so now I'm like, I'm not going to watch porn anymore. Because of how terrible the industry is. And obviously I was fooling myself this whole time thinking that it's such a great industry for them. It's really not. It's really bad. So I am going to switch over. And I followed this industry for a while. As soon as it came out, it's this company called Make Love Not Porn. And it's a really good, and it's all people just who like to have you watch them have sex. And it's all mostly couples. Occasionally you'll see a porn star on there, but the porn stars are generally with their actual partner doing videos. So I think I'm just going to switch to them totally.
Now, there were a couple of women that were producing porn, and they seem to have a different, because they're women, they had a different sensibility about the porn, and they should treat their actors better. So maybe instead of going for the first cock and pussy you see, find out who's producing it. And if it's a woman behind it, maybe it'll be ethical porn.
Well, but it should be, right?
ethically mined porn. It's like ethically mined diamonds.
Well, it's entertainment in the first place. They should be paid
They're
appropriately.
not documentaries.
No. It doesn't really have. Most of the time, sex isn't really like that, GD. If you're lucky, it is.
What about pizza? What about pizza delivery? Is pizza delivery like that?
Because most people realize that pizza delivery is too expensive, so usually you go pick it up. I usually go pick mine up.
Yeah, I pick mine up too, but that's
so then you're having sex at the pizza place?
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Oh.
Isn't that how you're supposed to pay for it?
I mean, if you're getting your pizza for free, I mean, you're obviously you're awesome. I'm not.
Well, discounted
for free. Oh, discounted. Oh.
Yeah, just a tip.
The one legitimate hardcore porn star that I interviewed, I didn't know anything about her. She was on this Pod Match platform, and she wanted to talk about the adult.
I'm sorry, Matt. I just want to say something real quick. According to somebody in Gov Text Fartson, he just typed "blind Mike is watching." That's all he typed.
How do we know that?
I don't think he is watching. I think Text is saying I'm his eyes.
You mean listening? Anyway.
Well, again, I think he's trolling. But that's fine.
Anyway,
if he's watching, fine. I don't. That's fine.
Yeah. Who cares?
But it's harder for us to interact on the Gov site because Govs is not. I'm the only one on the room who's watching Govs. That's because we're on Govs, but
Govs has a site.
All
right.
So anyway, I highly encourage people to look up Make Love Not Porn because I think they're crowdsourcing again. They think they've been around for like a good 6 years, and I just started following their CEO. But I think I'm going to donate money to them and start promoting. I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can advertise them on my podcast.
Well, okay. If I can come back to this person, Eva Lovia or Lovia, Lovia. She's
is that the redhead?
No. She's a legitimate, like, hardcore porn star. She was on Podmatch. She said she wanted to come on and talk about the adult film industry. I did not know she was the actual porn star at the time. And I had this other guy on the day before who was a porn addiction recovery guy. He was talking about how dangerous porn addiction is and how it ruins lives and all this stuff. And so I had her on. It was a very weird kind of conversation because she had recently given birth to a little boy, and that changed her position on politics a lot because now she was a feminist and in charge of her own pornography production company and all this stuff, and having a little boy made her a Trumper.
Oh, what?
Very, very conservative.
Right. I think I remember that. I think that happened while I was around.
No, well, maybe you were around, but you weren't on that program. Her real name is Candace Horback. It's like, well, you didn't.
Right. I think so. I wasn't on the program, but I think you had Willie back then, right? Willie was still on the show, wasn't he?
No, I was just me. And okay. So I interviewed her, and then after I interviewed her, I was like, I got to check out some of her films. And when I went to check out some of her films, I'm, it's not like I'd never seen porn before, but I was deeply shocked by some of this. There's one thing where she's sucking like I think 50 cocks at one time, like it's just ridiculous. But she's married, and her husband's there, and her husband's kind of a porn star too or something, and they're in this relationship. I understand how people can be open, but to have your wife, and now you got a little boy there, and that kid's gonna grow up. When that kid turns teenager, somebody's gonna show him, yeah, you want to see your mother sucking 50 cocks at a time. It was shocking to me. But she's doing this thing about the one I saw. She was doing a thing about how to examine a cock for cancer or she's sucking a cock while she's telling you how to examine it for growths or all this kind. I was like,
is she an actual nurse practitioner? I mean, that would make your doctor visit a little different. Honey, I'm going to the doctors. I'm going to get checked for cancer.
Yeah, but
why is this doctor so busy? It's like all of our cancer patients have left us to go to this one doctor.
I think my experience would have been different if I had seen one of her films before I talked to her. But seeing it, because the conversation was about politics. It was about feminism and how she's changed since she's had a boy and all this kind of stuff, and how she was really angry at this guy who was saying porn addiction is a problem. She could see
I
it's
may
her
have
industry.
seen I may have seen a reel or something because the name sounds familiar. The backstory sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then the guy was back on, and he was like, and so I got them into like a feud. I don't know what happened. I didn't follow up on that, but they were feuding over whether porn addiction is a real thing. And
Of course it is. An addiction is an addiction is an addiction. It doesn't matter what your addiction is. I mean, that's what the whole premise of that show, My Strange Addiction.
Yeah.
People can't stop themselves from doing something. And if they can't do it, it causes them real life distress with their work, their home, their activities, their social interactions.
So I could have an addiction to money because when I don't have any, it changes my entire life. I don't function well. So I'm addicted.
Do you think about it 100% nonstop all the time where you must have it and it causes you shame because you don't have it and you'll lie about not having it to people?
Yes. Oh, you're talking to him? Yes. Me. Yes.
I don't think about anything 24 hours a day because sometimes I sleep and sometimes I poop.
Not all the time, but I think about money problems all the time.
I think when I poop.
No, because when I poop, when I poop, I play mahjong.
Well, that you're not thinking when you play mahjong?
Not about anything but mahjong. I'm matching patterns, and I play pretty quickly. I do the matching stuff pretty quickly because I see like maybe 3 or 4 matches at one time, and then I just have to hit my finger to hit all the little matches. I see the whole screen and not just like 1 or 2 tiles. And so pretty quick.
But to me, it's a little weird for a guy to come out and
pooping while playing mahjong.
No, the porn addiction guy to come out and admit and talk freely about his it being addicted to whacking off to porn. I mean, it's one thing to admit that you masturbate, but to admit that you do it all day long, and it's just a weird confession to make in public.
And he might not be clinically diagnosed with that either. In other words, has he lost his job? Does he do it when he's at work? Does it interact? Does he do it when he's supposed to be, having a social interaction with somebody? Does he cancel everything in his life just to continuously do that sort of thing?
According to him, it ruined everything. His wife left him. He lost his business. I mean, he was just obsessed with it, doing it all. But it takes a certain amount of bravery to come out and say that in public. That I was just fucking whacking off all day long to porn stars. And, well, wow, really? I don't know. But he was angry at her because she was saying that it's not a thing. And it's like, how dare she say it's not a thing? Look at my life. I've ruined my life.
Also, though, why have an argument with a dumb person?
Because you'll feel smart.
I don't know if she's a dumb person.
But she's not a clinical person, and she has what's her background to say that doesn't exist?
She did have a master's in psychology. I know that, but that doesn't necessarily mean smart either. It just means you did the work.
Oh no, I know lots of.
You got the degree.
Degrees.
But it's just interesting to see agendas at work because, listen, I don't know if she's still making porn. I should look that up. And if I do look that up, then my browser history will get all fucked up.
Yeah, probably tied in some way. But I think it would be interesting to see if you could get that lady that is the CEO of Make Love Not Porn. I'll message her. Maybe she'll message me back.
Yeah, I'll work
very
on
interesting conversation.
I'll work on that. Make Love Not Porn.
Yeah,
we had Pepper Cat. Pepper Cat is kind of a porn star, right? But she only does stuff alone, like an OnlyFans porn star, which is it's just her playing with herself over and over again in a room. I guess doing requested acts by fans. Like, what do you want me to do? And to me, you're gonna run out of imagination. It's just one person. It's not like how many different acts can she do alone and on request? I have a request. Well, that one guy, he said he was requested to shit on a rock, and that was where he drew the line. He would not shit on a rock for somebody. Like,
geez, I do that when I go hunting. Maybe I should make my own video.
You shit on a rock? Now, why on a rock?
Shit outside. I mean, there's rocks there, but I can shit on a rock. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the rock part got me confused. Like shit on a rock.
Why?
You want me to just to shit on the ground, and there happens to be a rock there. That's a different kind of thing. But to pick out a rock, oh, that's a good rock for me to shit on. I don't know.
What's funny is afterwards, I would definitely go back and clean off the rock. Like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Shit on this rock.
And somebody was going to pay him $20 for that, but that's where he drew the line. Now, this is like a homeless guy living in a car with his wife. His wife is one encouraging him to go on Pornhub and sell videos of him jerking off in the car that they were living in while she's in the back seat. But he drew the line at shitting on a rock. Like, really? That's where your moral line is, your ethical line? Shitting on a rock? The Rock doesn't care. The Rock is non-judgmental.
Right. But it's been there for millennia. You know, it's just not right to leave the shit on it. I would definitely go back and clean it off.
Elizabeth just said she's moving locations for better access. Expect to try again by 10:30. Oh. All right. Well, I guess
hopefully she has no problem because I would like to meet her.
Huh. Yeah.
Virtually
10:30 is a little bit of a disappointment. I might be dead by 10:30. It's 9:55 now. I don't have a lot of gas left in me. Can you hear the wheezing?
Yeah, I from the minute I came on, I said you were wheezing.
I know. I'm a wheezer. It's a wheezer.
I definitely wouldn't smoke today.
This is a problem. It's altering my body chemistry. I need my weed, man. I'm a weed addict. I don't know.
Just eat it.
I'm a weed addict. I guess I should switch to gummies. I really should. But
it is much better for your lungs. I tell all my weed smokers, I'm like, I don't have a problem with you using THC. What I don't want you doing is smoking it.
Yeah.
It's not because anything that you're introducing to your lungs like that is gonna, it's gonna make your alveoli a little bit thicker. It's gonna make your mucus thicker. It's gonna scar. It's gonna, there might be like tiny burns and all that other stuff. So it's not good for you to smoke it.
Now, when I was growing up, this is, of course, ancient technology. They used to say that smoking marijuana was actually better for your lungs than cigarettes. Yeah.
Well,
and the way it actually helped clear out the crap from the cigarettes and stuff like that.
Well, just stopping smoking clears out the crap from your lungs from smoking cigarettes.
Okay, so it was probably one of those things where
they call that causation.
Causation, but there was a correlation. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I smoke pot, and my lungs are much better now.
They're better than they were when you were smoking cigarettes. Sure.
Right. I would say it's probably more tar because there's no filter on it, right? The tar is the thing that really.
No, because there's so many chemicals and there's formaldehyde in cigarettes. Everything you're not just smoking tobacco and paper.
Well,
right. Yeah, there's tons of chemicals.
There's tons of shit they spray that shit with. It's not just straight tobacco. If you're rolling straight tobacco, that's different.
And not only that, nicotines. I don't know what kind of harm nicotine does, other than the fact it's extremely addictive.
Yeah, it's addictive.
I don't know what it does.
Than sugar, baby.
Huh.
Okay.
Sugar.
Huh. That's what I said. John, do you have an opinion on psychedelic therapy?
Yeah, I do.
And
yes, I do. I think that it is showing some promise with microdosing. I do think that folks need to have some serious background in how to use it properly if they're going to use it. And there are medical practitioners using it now. There are actually conferences that you can go to learn about psychedelics, but it's not an approved therapy as far as I know. But I do think that it has benefit because they've been using them for a long time in research. Well, there's nothing concrete because I don't think that there's any specific way for you to exactly measure how much you're supposed to give somebody.
Yeah, and what she said last night, there's no control group. Like, there's no way to do an effective control because if you give somebody a placebo, they're gonna know that they're not tripping.
Yeah, I would definitely think that. Yeah, but to folks with like bipolar disorder and schizoaffective disorder and things like that, I guess you're showing some real promise with microdosing with the psychedelics. So that's good. But there's also a lot of stuff that comes out that's a little bit different. For example, people get a bad rap on stuff and you look at things, how they worked, and then the stuff that they make different. And you're like, man, lithium worked pretty fucking good. Why do we keep using all this other shit? So
It
I don't know.
was
I think,
surprising to me because she was saying it's not legal anywhere in the U.S. And I'm like, well, there's different kinds of psychedelics. And one of the sponsors, Mind Bloom, you can buy on the internet. It's ketamine. She said, well, ketamine's a different story than
yeah,
mushrooms. And why? She was talking
ketamine
about,
is a hypnotic, I believe. That's the
so,
classification for ketamine.
huh?
My question about Mind Bloom. Also, I was listening to it this morning. And I keep forgetting to ask you this question. On the commercial, it says they do, and I can't decide that word. Are they saying alchemizing?
Alchemizing or optimizing? I don't know. Yeah,
Because I'm like, I go. So, are you saying is that a twist on the word alchemy? What is alchemizing?
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
that's
sounds like.
exactly what it is.
Is that what it is, GD? Okay, because I'm like,
Let's spend 30 seconds here.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication.
Alchemizing.
alchemizing.
He says psychedelic medication. So somebody's got to be regulating this stuff. And
No, why?
no,
Not
be-
everything falls under the purview of the FDA.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there are certain loopholes
listen.
written in there. There are certain loopholes in those rules and regulations, and that's how things like if you don't mention a cure, if you say you're a supplement as
Right,
opposed
supplements
to
aren't FDA.
right.
Okay, so alchemize. So this is how they get. This is right here. This is to answer your question. Alchemize. Transform the nature of properties of something by a seemingly magical process. That's brilliant.
alchemy. Yeah, a magical process, right? And that we can't, which is weird in healing arts and in the healing profession.
Well,
To say.
sure, but that's how you get away with doing a bunch of. Yeah,
I'm just
you
trying
use
to.
a word like alchemizing. I like it.
Well, I was just trying to wrap my head around the idea of doing psychedelics to deal with past trauma,
Sure.
because if you anybody who's done as much psychedelics as I have, which is way too much, Timothy Leary is jealous of what I've done. It's traumatic in itself,
Oh, we
and
should get. Yeah.
I don't see how it helps. And she was talking about the difference between talk therapy, the typical go to a counselor and talk for fucking months and months and months till you make breakthroughs,
Yeah.
versus that, and it's like it's still reliving the trauma. Only thing, it's reliving the trauma with a bunch of spooky shit going on in your brain as well. So it's really hard to figure out how it works.
Well, that's
How
why that's part of that's another reason why I have not done psychedelics. Like I said, there's stuff in my head that it's safer if it stays where it is. It doesn't need to be brought to the surface.
You're kind of worried that you'll do one of those, like have a psychotic break if you relive too much stuff.
Well, it's not even. It's not. And the funny thing, it's not even like my childhood itself. Now, like I said, now that I'm an only child and an orphan, I can like reinvent my childhood because there's nobody there to challenge it.
Well, we reinvent stuff anyway, right? We
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
We don't remember things as clear as we thought we did.
But my childhood was not as like. I mean, believe me, I know people that have had worse, but I've had quite a bit emotional scarring more than I've had physical scarring. Everybody's older, not everybody, but my older siblings.
Can you show us one of your emotional scars?
Sure. But you know what's going to, no, because it freaks people out when they saw it in the gym. Yeah. One guy says, put your shirt back on. You know what that looks like? Put your shirt back on.
It's like an emotional scar.
Yeah. It's an emotional scar. Yeah.
Only bigger. If you want a medical doctor on to talk about it, I can get one for you. I should talk to my friend about it. She's really into it. She's very much into psychedelic treatment, and she's big on that thing. She's a hippie too, but she's like my age, but she's like a total hippie. I think I'm older than her, and she's a hippie.
I think I've had over a dozen people on to talk about psychedelics, but it always comes back to the same thing, all the different kinds. And I am intrigued, although I can't get any, with DMT. I want to try DMT because from everybody I've talked to, DMT is a different kind of thing.
What's that, daylight mountain time?
Don't ask me to tell you what the DMT stands for. It's ways dimethyl.
Okay, just I don't want to. I hate starting shit, but there's this guy in the room who's saying, "Who the fuck is the beef man?" I don't know who this person is, but I don't. and I don't like to start shit, but
well, he's don't worry about him. We'll just ban him. Ban him.
I think it's a wise move.
DMT though is supposed to be more of it's a really quick. It's 15 minutes and done.
Okay.
Which I like because LSD is 15 hours or more and
Oh.
and not done ever. But
I feel like I would just be crying. I came out of everything. Oh my God.
Well, she said she did it and she didn't remember it, or she didn't have a good memory of it and all that. I would definitely want a videotape rolling while I did this, so I can at least see what went on when I was doing this. But almost everybody who has done DMT, it comes back with this spiritual thing where they saw elves mocking them, or elves or little people or whatever. These little entities come in and kind of insult you, they mock you, they kind of make fun of your weaknesses, things you got to work on, which is really weird. It's kind of not to everyone, but a large majority of them have this experience where entities, little elves, dwarves, whatever you want to fucking call them.
That's funny.
my involvement was there were entities that were called drift imps and frips, and I was a freshman in college, and I was hallucinating to no end. And I woke up.
What made you hallucinate?
Lack of sleep and an overdose of caffeine. I was cramming for an exam that I was taking 2 weeks early, because I wanted to go to a Rush concert, and they wouldn't let. And the Rush concert was on the same day as my final exams in college, and so I said to them, "Look, I got tickets for a concert. Can I take the exam later?" And they went, "No, you have to take it beforehand." So I had to take my final exams 2 weeks early, and I was cramming because I wasn't ready for a final exam 2 weeks early, especially they were still adding stuff to the exam. They were still, so I was trying to learn stuff. I was trying to review stuff and learn stuff in a much quicker period of time, and
like
the overstimulation. And I woke up, and I know I was awake, but I could see the creatures all over the room. And they had a backstory, and I wound up making a comic strip out of it because they were so real to me.
Wow. I interviewed Dr. Rick Strassman, who was he was the pioneer in DMT research, and he was also deeply religious Jewish, deeply religious guy, and he wrote a book on it called The Spirit Molecule, and he did all the research from like 1980 to like 1995. Maybe it's shorter than that, like 85 to 95 or something.
Did he write any like scientific articles, like in journals?
Yeah,
like, is there anything in like the American Medical, and blah blah blah, the New England Journal of Medicine or anything?
Yeah, Rick Strassman. It's you can find him at rickstrassman.com, I believe. But he wrote all these papers on it. But it's like, I don't think. First of all, I don't think the medical, and this was a big part of the conversation, the medical associations don't necessarily like people mixing religion with science. That's a big part of it, and he does, and that's a big question to me. Is like, because when I worked in pathology, almost every pathologist had a deep religious or a faith of some kind, and it's like, that's weird, man. How do you mix science and religion?
Easily.
Yeah.
If you're practicing and actually spending good time with your patients, and you see different changes, and you see how much religion can affect someone, and you see the different faces of changes that people make, it's understandable that people believe in religion as healthcare providers. I'm actually surprised when people who are healthcare providers aren't spiritual or religious in some way, because you see things that you're like, holy fuck, what just happened? How did that even, what? That's crazy.
Yeah. I had walking pneumonia when I was 25, and I was 25 years old. I had a girlfriend at the time, but I was coming on to this other woman who was like really, and we were talking she was one of those women who was like, I like to go walking in the rain. I said, okay, let's do this. So we're like out in the rain and we're doing rain type stuff. And I felt bad afterwards because I had someone I was seeing, and I remember thinking to myself, it would serve you right if you got pneumonia. Now I know pneumonia does not come from walking in the rain and doing that. Now it does come from.
Ooh, I got pneumonia in the rain.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So but 2 days later I felt like crap, and then 3 days I said, oh my God. So I went to my doctor, and he goes, okay, it's official. You have walking pneumonia. And then he says, let me give you some antibiotics, and I said, no. And he goes, no. He goes, no. I said, no. I said, I know how I got this. I shamed myself into it. I will forgive myself out of it. And I said, I will be back in 4 days. If it's not gone, I'll take the antibiotics. And
I love patients like you. They're the best.
And I went back in 4 days, and he goes, okay. He goes, yeah, I don't know what you did, but it's gone.
Okay. Did he do a chest x-ray?
Yes.
And the chest x-ray definitively was read by the radiologist or by your provider?
Not by me. It was read by my doctor.
That's what I said. Your provider. Your doctor is your provider.
Oh, my parents were my provider back then, because I was 25 and I was still living at home. So my parents were kind of like my provider.
I will metaphorically force choke the fuck out of you.
Yes, thank you. Please, somebody.
I will fucking kill you the next time I see you.
Thank you. Please.
Sorry.
I hope you see him soon.
Sorry.
April.
April, don't be surprised if I choke you first and then hug you.
Nice.
I have mixed emotions.
I want to talk to you about something else other than that. Yeah.
Well, let me just expose you a second here, because first of all, there's two things I've noticed about you here today. First of all, you said you are a deeply monogamous person. Now you just told us you had a girlfriend you were cheating on, which makes you not all that monogamous.
Okay.
Wait.
No. I said I am, which is current day. And I told you this story happened when I was 25.
No, you are who you are. That doesn't change. You don't change who you. The zebra doesn't change. A zebra doesn't change its lion or its cheetah.
I'm not a zebra or a cheetah.
A zebra doesn't change its cheetah.
And I said I felt ashamed. Okay.
Who's ashamed? Who is shame and where is she? Yeah, you were feeling up shame.
I haven't seen her in years.
The other thing I noticed that early in the program, and I didn't comment on it, that GD is actually, and you might want to be sitting down. Are you sitting down over there? GD is actually Sister Curly Hair, so bright in drag.
Stop that! You starting that? That's not true.
I heard you say spring and summer before, and it's exact same voice as her.
No, I don't think so. I think she has this.
I'll roll back the tape.
Oh, you can't even find the tape.
That's true.
Oh, don't threaten me with idle threats. Oh, find the tape. Oh, no.
I can't. There is no tape. I thought maybe I had a Perry Mason moment there. I'll play the tape. But actually,
you have some Perry Mason. I've watched every episode.
By the way, Dr. Strassman, straight up legit, has lots of articles that I'm seeing popping up for the on National Institutes of Health.
You know what was really cool about him? Rogan had been trying to get him for 10 years, and he refused to go on Rogan. He came on my program.
And wise choice on his part.
That's right, because we're number 3. We're number 3 in science. We're number 2 in Latino hymns. No, number 1 in Latino hymns.
I think he liked the letter I wrote to him. I think that's why he agreed to be on. And also, he did Rogan. Yeah, he had to go from Albuquerque to L.A., and for me, he just had to kind of sit in his office there. So that
nice. Yeah, I'm going to read this article. I'm going to read what he has, and then I'm going to catch up with my friend Allison and ask her what she knows.
Man, you're a spick, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so
thank you for noticing. Sometimes people think I'm Greek or Italian.
Okay, but so. We were rated number 1 in Latin hymns.
Awesome.
But that's not Latino hymns. That's Latin. No, never mind. I'm sorry.
Hymns.
I was profiling.
Latin encompasses all.
Yeah, because we were. I don't know any Latin hymns, and I was trying to figure out where we got the number 1 rating in Latin hymns.
Did I?
And I thought you being something. I thought you being spick adjacent, you might know.
Well,
I'm thinking about putting up a spigot fence.
I'm not sure that Latin meant anything. It was just like encompassing all of like
Latin America.
Yeah, no. At the time, it was because of
Oh, you mean
Europe, Italian, French, Spanish,
spoke
all that stuff.
Latin? Yeah, I spoke Latin.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Okay.
don't. Yeah. Where?
I don't know history. I suck at history.
Me
Although I
too.
love history, but I'm not. I
Oh,
only
so you like that
focus on
song? I
certain-
don't know much about history.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
Sam
know
Cooke? Is that
biology
Sam
either.
Cooke?
That's actually not true. I didn't know biology.
I believe it. I believe it is Sam Cooke.
So you don't know your rock and roll history. If you're saying you believe, you're not sure. You're not really. I don't know rock and roll history.
I focus on certain parts of history that I really find interesting. I love history, but I'm not very good at it. I can't recall stuff.
I love history too. I was watching. Ken Burns has a new American Revolution thing streaming.
It's already out. It's out now.
Yeah, it's out there. I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday. MAGA people hate it. MAGA people get the idea because he said in the beginning of the documentary, he's talking about the Iroquois had a thriving democracy in the Northeast, and some MAGA people on Twitter are like, he's right in the first 3 minutes, he's saying white people are evil. Like, if that's what you got out of that,
then you are.
Really. I mean, you're a little too. Maybe your white guilt is just too prominent. That whatever that is, that first of all, you want them to talk about the American Revolution without talking about the racial things that were going on, both with Native Americans and Black people, and there were people in the North who did have slaves at that time. It wasn't like slavery was an issue dividing the colonies as much as it was later on when in the 1800s. But there was still an issue about some people had Black people living among in their houses and stuff like that, and other people didn't like that and all that stuff. And the Brits definitely saw that as a problem for the rebels, as like they got help, they got free help. And so that, but to not mention it, how can you talk about the American Revolution and just whitewash the racial stuff out of it? And that's what I think the MAGA people want to do. I'm fascinated by that stuff. I love Ken Burns' work.
Yeah, amazing.
I don't think he has an agenda.
No, he's telling history. He's a great documentary maker. I mean, he's not leaning one way or the other.
I don't know. Because I've watched quite a few of his documentaries, and not once was I mentioned in any of them. So I don't think he's telling the true story of America, the complete story of America, because I'm part of America, and not once.
He can't go into that much.
I think
he only has like 18 hours per show that he makes.
I think you were.
I'm just saying that he's leaving like hundreds of millions of people out of the story when he does it the way he does.
No, I think you were mentioned in his baseball documentary. He said the Mets' original second baseman. I think.
Well, I know you guys don't listen to podcasts, but there are 2 podcasts out there that are really, really, really solid for history. And one is a lot of their episodes are only like 20 minutes, like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
I could dig that.
And it's called A Short History of, and I am just consuming the shit out of that podcast. Oh my God. And just so interesting. And they just break stuff down real quick. And the narrator is very good. He has a nice voice to listen to. Very good podcaster. That's a great one. And then if you have more time, and this is why I love this one, is Dan Carlin. You guys know Dan Carlin. He doesn't release them all the time. He works on them for quite a while, and then he releases them, and it's called Hardcore History. And he'll do podcasts that like they're broken up into like 10, 12 hours of one subject. And he's just really into history. But he says he's not a historian, but boy, is he really good at putting shows together, and they're really great. So if you get a chance, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, that's a long one. And the other one is just called Short History of on the Noiser Network. That one's great. Those are 2 really good podcasts.
Well, as long as we're plugging podcasts,
Slaptail Nation, yeah, great.
What Makes Us Laugh is got, I think, 3 or 4. We dropped 3 or 4 weeks ago, and so we now have 4 whole episodes, so that people can start watching. And it's like everywhere that you can get a podcast. It's called What Makes Us Laugh, with Alan Katz and myself, and different guests at different times.
I will listen today.
Now, who have you had on? You don't even remember?
No, I do remember. The problem is, if you say who you've had on, I don't know if there are any. I don't know. No, we've done like 8 or 9 episodes, and I don't know which ones and in what order he's put them in because I haven't had a chance to.
Who? Right. I mean, it was just a general question. If you've
right,
only
so
done
like, okay, Dan Pasternak. Dan Pasternak.
Oh, so Dan. Okay, that's
yeah.
Good
Dan Pasternak. He's done 2 so far. Dylan Brody. Cool. He's done 1. He's scheduled to do another one. Dr. Holly. Dr. Holly Sawyer. She's a comedian and a doctor. She's a comedian and a psychologist, so she's our resident doctor when we.
Oh God, she'd hate my comedy.
Huh?
She'd hate my comedy.
Oh, and it's like, so for example, she's done 1 episode. She's about to do a second one. The second episode, the second episode with her, what we're doing is we're breaking down what your actual laugh, what it says about you emotionally.
Oh, this podcast sounds horrible.
Huh? Oh, well, it was my
idea.
Sorry.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I had a really severe head injury back in 2002. So I don't have a lot of an inner monologue. Sometimes I'll just say stuff. So did I say that out loud?
That's okay. That episode was my idea because I'm fascinated.
Hold on. Hold on. This head injury, was it in the military? You get shot in the head? Yeah. Is that what happened?
No, I was doing it. I was an instructor for 11 Charlie.
Fell out of a plane.
Close. Close. I mean, I was going to tell a story, but it's fine now.
I had a very bad head.
I refuse to. I won't tell it now.
I had a very bad head injury when I was a kid, and then they never made me get checked out when I had a really. Here's what happened. I'm on my bicycle. I'm going to Carvel to pick up a bag of Lollapaloozas. Pardon the cough there. Riding the bike as fast as I can downhill, coming around the corner, and there's a truck parked right at the fish store, parked right in front of me. And I go to hit my brake, and the brake snapped. The handbrake snapped. And I hit the truck, and I went head first into the truck, like boom, knocked unconscious. Lost my Lollapaloozas, but I was laying there unconscious for minutes, like before the guy who drove the truck came out and said, "Oh, what happened?" And he just basically dusted me off, put me on my bike, and sent me home. Never got it checked out, and for days I was walking around still like disoriented and concussed. Nobody ever made me. So this is why I am who I am. This head injury
and all the bedwetting and the fire starting, the triad.
Yeah. So,
well,
all those other bodies on Long Island are going to be linked to Matt.
Yeah,
but in all fairness, the bedwetting only became a problem because he kept setting the bed on fire, and that was the quickest way to put it out.
he just
I never had a bed.
That was the quickest way to put it out. He just like goes to sleep with the joint that falls out of his mouth, and catches the bed on fire, and he pisses.
No, I never had a bed. They made me sleep on the floor. Still to this day, I sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I had a head injury when I was young too. It's bike related. I fell off we were with a bunch of kids at my grandma's, and we were all riding around the street as we did as children. And I fell off my bike, and this big fat kid ran over me. And my head just went kadunk really hard on the road. And man, I was fucking concussed big time. My parents did take me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's majorly concussed."
Yeah,
so I've had 12 concussions
that you remember.
Wow.
Yeah. Well.
So you're like one of those football players who major lots and lots of concussions. 12 is a lot.
Yeah.
It took a long time. It took a long time to recover from them because it was cumulative. The effects were cumulative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to the point where actually if I was playing basketball and somebody just gave me a soft foul. They just like on my head like this, and I had like doubled over.
Thrown up.
Yeah, I doubled over. I was like, holy shit. I was like, my brain was like, it was like it's like you rattled my head, but the whole thing just went bonkers. It took me like 5 or 6 years without an incident so that I could now I can do this and it doesn't do anything.
Now you're like, whoa.
Yeah. But no, but it took 5 or 6 years without an incident before my brain and then suddenly my memory got better.
Well, that's not what happened. See, what happened was because you got older, your brain actually shrunk. So now there's just more room in there, so that you're not just when you bonk it, it's not really hitting your brain anymore. There's that space. Natural
Don't tell me
atrophy of
that.
your brain tissue.
I don't feel better now.
That's normal. That's a normal part of the process of aging.
The goal here is not to make you feel better. The
Yeah,
goal
sorry.
here is to try to kill you off.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Where's Elizabeth? Because
Well, she said around 10:30 she's had 6 more minutes.
people are clamoring to
Yeah.
hear from Queen Elizabeth.
I want to hear from Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And I owe you an apology, Beeb, man. You did respond. The thing is, I didn't see it until because you wished me a happy birthday, and I responded to the happy birthday, and it was right before the happy birthday, so I didn't look above the happy birthday.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh, that's not your fault. That's my fault.
I will look into the other ones though for you.
No, it's my fault.
But, I mean, what do you think of the one that you said that you knew her?
I love her, absolutely adore her, but how much time are we talking?
20 minutes.
No.
21 minutes.
Can't do that long.
Oh, it's too long.
It's too long for her. Yeah.
19 minutes.
What? Why is that too long? That's not a long time. It goes by like that.
Well, yeah, but you have to. Okay, so when I go do comedy, I think I've explained this on my podcast, probably not on this one. One, I'm not a comedian. I'm a comedic entertainer or a comic entertainer. My primary thing is podcasting. That's the thing that's my claim to fame. I do make people laugh when I do comedy, but I don't consider myself a stand-up quote comedian. What I do consider myself when I go to do comedy is an astute observer as a producer. And so I see who I think has a tight amount of time that they can do. If you come up to me and you're like, oh, I can do 20 minutes. I'm like, no, I've watched you. You have a tight 6 minutes, maybe. So when I look at people, I'm looking at them not just as, hey, are they funny as an audience perspective, but I'm looking at them. Could I put them in a show? How much time are they good for? And if somebody tells me, hey, I need somebody for 20 minutes, that's not somebody who I would pick.
Oh, okay. You don't think that she could develop it? I'm just saying, you said you love her, so I don't know
I could talk to her directly and ask her if she thinks she could do 20.
Yeah,
and
if she can get 20 under her belt by February, that'll give her 2 months to,
But I know for her that even 15 is stretching it.
I got a tight 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We're not talking about sex, Matt. We're talking about comedy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually, my show last weekend, you guys, I think I killed, which is odd because I've never done that. So it was a weird experience for me. And people were coming up to me afterwards and they're like, man, you should totally do all like tons of veteran shows and you should perform for the active duty military. I'm like, they would love you. And I'm like, well, if you know any places that want people doing that, I would totally do it. I'm like, because I would love to do stuff for active duty military and for veterans organizations. That'd be fun.
Talk to
Swan
Robert
wants to know
Taylor.
who we're talking about, and
I didn't say Swan.
I know we didn't say because
call them out, Swan.
Yeah, we didn't want to call them out, but I will text you, or John can text you. He can contextualize it. Yeah.
All right.
So if anybody knows any veteran shows and think that they have an audience that would love my brand of dark humor, I'm gonna chop up some stuff and put it on YouTube so people can watch it. Oh my God, she's here! I'm so excited, but I have to pee.
You're so excited?
Yeah, but I have to pee.
I'm kind of excited. I'm not so excited. I'm kind of excited.
That's Pointer Sisters.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
I'm gonna leave really quick and go pee, and I'll be back.
All right.
So you're coming back? You're gonna pee and come back?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna pee while you guys are here.
No. No. So we'll just take you out of the thing, and then I wasn't gonna let you.
Yeah.
Don't you have a cup or something?
I'm just gonna remove myself from the stage like this.
Here.
All right, fine.
Just use one of these. It's the slap tail portable urinal.
You could see right through that.
Well, then that's where the pee would come out.
Do me a favor. Why don't you handle the introduction? Yeah, because I don't know if you know this, but YouTube believes that you and Elizabeth are like joined at the hip or something, with all the keywords kind of.
See, that's an overstatement. We're not joined at the hip. She's been an inspiration to me since the first moment I saw her at an open mic at a place in Frederick called, I think it was called Guido's, and if I'm wrong, she can correct me. It was the host or the person who ran the room was Ryan Nazer, I think. I think it was called Guido's. That's the first time I saw her, and she did. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 7. It was an open mic, and I went, "That's what I want my comedy to look like when I get better. When I get good, I want it to look like that." She was so good, so smart, so funny.
Well, this is not the introduction I want. Elizabeth Alice. Croydon.
Oh, I'm sorry. He wrote. Then read the one you wrote, because I don't see the one you wrote.
I didn't have one that I wrote. And she is this is what's interesting to me, because she's got so many things. She's a feminist comic, multi movie maker, public speaker, writer, as seen on TV, top tour guide, native Washingtonian. That's the first time I've ever said that word. Childless cat lady, tarot reader. I did not know that about her. She's a political activist and so much more. She's here now, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
left out actress and producer and director.
Oh yeah, Queen Elizabeth Croydon. Good morning, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm royally yours.
Oh,
hello,
well,
Queen Elizabeth of Croydon.
I'm from
the House of Croydon.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because if people go to look for your name on Google, they will come up with Queen Elizabeth visiting Croydon.
Yes, I'm really excited to go back to Croydon and claim it in the name of America.
Wow, that would be great.
Amy Winehouse is from Croydon.
I did not know that. Wow.
There's a famous quote from David Bowie, "That's so fucking Croydon."
I just wanted to make an introduction real quick. Elizabeth, this is John Beavers. You call him the Beav Man. And John, this is Elizabeth.
Well, it's nice to see that you're having more beavers on the show. That's great.
Well, we try to break up the Sausage Fest every chance we get.
That's great.
He's the proprietor of the Slaptail Nation universe.
Excellent.
Lord High Commander.
Yeah.
Hi, Elizabeth.
It's hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Thanks.
So, Elizabeth, out of all the things that I talked about there, feminist, comic, movie maker, public speaker, writer, all those things, which is your where's your main passion in this? Because I think comedy and political activism. I know you're doing all those other things as well. What's your main passion?
Movie making.
Movie making?
Yeah, I haven't had enough time and opportunity to make as many movies as I like, but movies involve every single discipline of the arts. And I'm a huge fan of artists, and I just want to see every artist employed.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking at movie credits because it's like this litany of people that had jobs. And I love that.
Yeah.
But if I want to dig a little deeper on your question and answer it truthfully, it's really about my messaging. It's not about how the message is delivered. That's, I guess, why my passions and accomplishments are scattered across so many different genres or creative outlets. Because and what my messaging is I need people to believe in themselves. I need people to understand that they can stand up to an authoritarian regime if one should pop its ugly head up. I need people to understand that they have control of themselves and their lives, that their vote matters. I want to see people happier. I love doing comedy. Comedy is an excellent outlet for that messaging. But the reason why I exist is because of that messaging.
All right. You say if one should pop up. I don't know if you're aware, but I got beat up by ICE agents last week.
No, are you joking, or were you
No,
really...
very, very serious. Here's what happened. I do paint parties.
I've been following you.
I was leaving a paint party in a very affluent area of Long Island and following GPS, and it took me to an area where there is gang activity and all this kind of stuff. I did not know that there was gang activity going on there. I went in, I saw a Mexican deli, and I went in to get a bottle of water. Coming out, a guy in a black mask yells something at me. I don't know he's ICE. I see a guy in black mask yelling. He's yelling at me, show me some ID. I did not know that at the time. My ID is in my car. So I went to
inaudible in a black mask.
Right, yeah. Tell me your ID. What do you I think I'm getting robbed in that moment. I'm like, what's going on here?
Right. Who wouldn't run or punch?
Right. So I went to go step towards my car, and the guy started wrestling with me. Now, just my instinct, if somebody starts wrestling with me on the street, and now I really think I'm getting mugged. Now I'm going to wrestle back.
Wait, as a martial artist, I need to ask, how did he begin wrestling with you?
He just grabbed me by the collar.
Oh, he went straight for the neck.
Yeah. Well, he grabbed me by the collar, not by the neck, by the
right. He didn't punch you in the neck, but he's got you by the neck.
Right. So I did what my instinct was. I went in to push his arms out, and as I was doing that, I got blindsided by somebody else, another ICE agent.
Jesus!
With me, and now the two of them got me on the ground. And then there's a third guy that comes on, and he's stomping on my legs with his boots, like bam, bam. And now,
oh my God, no!
Yeah, so I'm screaming at them, like, and then they start yelling at me in Spanish. It's like, I don't fucking speak Spanish. Like they're giving me orders in Spanish.
What? Couldn't they tell you were clearly like, what? I'm guessing you have an Italian heritage.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, let's get this Guido. He passes for Spanish."
They called me a stick.
Look at that stash. Look at that stash. It's a Cheech Marin stash.
And he's 6 foot. And he's what, 6'3"? How tall are you, Matt? 6'1", 6'2"?
6, just 6 even.
6 foot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So then somebody comes up because I'm screaming. I'm like, I'm Mr. Tough Guy now. I'm telling them I'm gonna, rip their head skull off and piss in their dead skull or whatever. Jack Nicholson line.
Yeah, I would too.
And a supervisor comes over and yells, "What's going on? Let him up!" And he lets me up. And then they start saying he's resisting arrest. I said, nobody told me I was under arrest. Nobody identified themselves as police. They got black masks on, and I just see the one guy with the black mask on. And I'm like, I don't know. So I showed him my ID, and he said, "What? You're from Sherman. What are you doing in this neighborhood?" I was like, driving home. I was getting a bottle of water. But so they beat me up, and the guy just told me, "Get out of there, go home, and don't tell anybody about this and all."
Like, oh my gosh!
Yeah. So I started one popped itself up, and I don't think people in my world who I know voted for him show no remorse. They like that. That's what I voted for. So, one should pop itself up. One has popped itself up.
They're hiring anyone. They're hiring that one of the ICE agents just got popped at an underage sex sting operation. And he was like, "Hey man, you can't arrest me. I'm ICE."
Yeah.
Damn, I freaking knocked in the throat.
Hell, I think we can.
Yeah.
So apparently they're all over.
Did you take pictures of the damage? Did you take pictures of all the marks on your body, like rape?
No, my wife told me I should go file a police report and go to a doctor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they have my address. I don't even know who these guys are. They didn't show me any ID.
I know, that's horrible.
And they had jackets on that. One I saw, it said police on the back of it. It didn't say
buy those for $10 on Temu.
Yeah.
See, next time, hopefully it doesn't happen again. But if it does, what you do, Matt, is you choke them out and then you take all their equipment.
Like, beavers know what they're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Choke them
out, take their equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And apparently,
you really pee on them. Now that leaves your DNA. Never mind. Just take their equipment.
Yeah, it's going on all over Long Island. Like they are just going up to people.
Wow.
They are profiling people by their looks or by what neighborhood they're in, and just like. And is it illegal to step outside of your car without taking your wallet? That's what the crime they were thinking I was committing. I don't have ID on me. It's like my ID 10 feet away.
Sorry, if you don't ID yourself, that gives me every right to pummel you. If you
wow, absolutely. You must have been terrified.
I was full of adrenaline on the way. I like adrenaline, and they hurt my shoulder really bad. But
they were going for you to harvest your adrenochrome.
Yeah,
been adrenochronized.
He's too old for that. I don't know if he might. That might not be worth as much.
The one guy was trying to
They only get a
George
half
Floyd me.
buzz from adult blood.
Yeah, you gotta use the babies. Babies work much better for that.
So yeah, I think we are, and this is. I mean, they're tired of. They keep saying, "Don't call us Nazis. Don't call us Nazis." You're
They're
behaving
Nazis.
exactly like fucking Nazis. That's
They're
not.
brown shirts.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I don't call
brown
them
shirt.
Nazis. I don't call them Nazis anymore because I did come to that realization that they are not technically Nazis because they're not part of the Nazi party because there is no Nazi party.
I don't
So
know.
now I just call them pseudo Nazis or wannabe Nazis.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Nazi was the definition of a dumb soldier that believed in making Germany great again.
Yeah.
So and they just wanted, they were dumb farmers, dumb podunks that wanted Germany to be prosperous again, and this was the way they were going to do it. And if they had to kill handicap, LGBTQIA, and Jewish people to do it, they were going to do it. That, as I understand, is the original meaning of the Nazis. The Nazis did not have their own party. Above the Nazis were like the SS officers. They were a little smarter because they could give commands. The worst were the Schmarotzas, as I was taught in Berlin. I think I'm so afraid that this will happen in our country. A Schmarotza was a leech. That is the German word for leech, as I understand it when I was in Berlin. And like landlords who knew there was a Jewish woman living in the tenant that they collected rent at would go to that woman's home and expect sexual favors or food or whatever he wanted they want their cable TV to catch the game, whatever, and they would come in and people
they had
were
cable
forced to
back
be
in-
nice to survive.
They were better than us.
Yeah, well, they also had rockets and cable.
Yeah.
Did you hear Anthony Jeselnik's new joke? I don't know how new it is, but it's a great joke. He said he's like, I have a friend. I'm paraphrasing because I can't do Anthony Jeselnik, obviously, but he's like, yeah, my friend came up to me. He said, "Hey, Anthony, what do you think about my new tattoo?" And he shows him his tattoo. And he's like, "Yeah, this is Chinese for awesome." He's like, "No." He's like, "That's a swastika." And he goes, "Everybody knows that's the German word for awesome."
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So my nephew was
Well,
talking.
it's not anymore. The Germans abhor what happened in
Oh,
their
sure,
country,
yeah,
and
but
they've been
it's just
afraid since 2000 of what's been happening here. I mean, incrementally, we've been sliding, just undoing a little nut here, using the wrench to loosen an angle here on our Constitution. I mean, I qualified for a black bag over my head when when the Terrorist Act, there's an act about domestic terrorists. If you move against the government and they make it very vague, you can get a black bag over your head. And now they're calling Antifa people domestic terrorists. In my comedy, I have a hashtag that's very popular called the Antifa Social Gardening Club.
Yeah.
We fertilize mines and trees. And so, every day that I'm not in a camp is pretty exciting for me.
Yeah.
Because I thoroughly qualify under their rank and file, given all of my activism that I have done as a shit disturber.
Well, every soldier, Marine, Airman, Guardian, Postie, all of us are Antifa.
Well, that's what I hear, but apparently
Oh,
there
that's
are
why
enough of you that are in there for a paycheck.
Yeah, there's bad people everywhere, but yeah, I posted that. A bunch of us have been
I
posting.
mean, the
us
National
uniform.
Guard is known for hiding the Klan. That's where they all go. They don't.
Well,
have
it depends on the state.
time.
It depends on the state where you're whatever.
The idea that anti-fascism, being against fascism, is a bad thing. It's just it rocked my mind. How did we get to a place where we are pro-fascist now? And I think because they want to claim Antifa is a terrorist organization.
Wasn't it Lindsey Graham, one of those Southern? It's Antifa. They're terrorists.
Right.
when George Allen was it's George Allen, right? George was stepped on with his neck and crushed and couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Is it George Allen? And that's
George
the
Floyd.
George Floyd. Yeah.
That's what they were doing to me. One guy had his knee on the back of my neck and was trying to choke me out.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
No wonder you were filled with adrenaline.
Yeah. But now I'm thinking, why are normal people and just not turning the tables and say, fascism is a terrorist organization. Antifa is not the problem. It's whatever.
We did kick ass in the recent election, and we are taking to the street, but most people are terrified, and most people don't understand how to fight back.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to take to the street though, too. Like for some people, like for me, because the whole point, as I understand it, is let's peacefully protest. But I have such a desire to just jack them in the throat that I'm like, I don't know that I could peacefully protest if something goes wrong.
That sounds like you're more black bloc or direct action oriented. We love our direct action activists.
Yeah, I just couldn't stand by that.
I start off peaceful. I was modified to seek a peaceful solution to things.
Oh, you were modified too? Me too.
Yes, I was modified to seek a peaceful solution to things. But if I get pushed, then I don't know when to stop the violence. I don't know when to stop, and I don't give up. And that's why I had to be modified, because you'd have to pretty much kill me to stop me at that point, because I don't know how to stop the rage myself.
That's definitely a thing, and especially when they initiate the violence. I mean, this guy with me, he's grabbed me. If he had not grabbed me, it probably would have been a peaceful encounter. I would have got my ID. They would have let me go. But he just decided to grab me.
Just decided to attack you. Yeah. No, they're really. I've been watching the arrests. I've been watching them as a martial artist. I've trained at an international Aikido dojo for over 20 years, and I'm watching the arrests because what if that happens in front of me on the street? I'm not the sort of person that does nothing.
Yeah,
and they are terrifying arrests. They're just brutal violence. And with very little accountability. Who was it? What representative introduced the act that they need to be unmasked? I think it passed in California.
Yeah.
I think California, they have to start IDing themselves.
Right.
But someone's pushing legislation that they need to ID themselves. They're going to be in a lot of trouble once this administration falls apart. And I do feel that it will fall apart.
Yeah, I think so too.
They are that dumb.
Also, from a medical standpoint, I know you guys were talking earlier because I just got done working out and I was listening to you before I came on, and you guys were all talking about, Matt, originally, I think in your monologue, you were talking about how, every morning they're like, it's over. He's going to be gone. From a medical standpoint, watching him, he's not going to live past March. I'll be surprised.
Yeah, no.
But I want him to be, I don't want him to die. I want it all to go to hell so that he can go to jail for at least 3 months before he dies. But when looking at people and determining their lifespan, I don't give him past March.
I hear what you're saying. I do believe eventually at some point that it can't sustain itself forever. I mean, all authoritarianism eventually ends up eating itself because it's like the mafia. You can't trust everybody. There's people who will turn on you, and the loyalty factor will split. But
MTG's doing a great job turning on him.
Yeah.
Right. What a pit bull to turn on him too. She's going to read all the names on the Epstein files.
Yeah, but do you think she actually cares? Do you think she actually cares, or she's just like looking to the future? She's like,
she cares about her voters, and I think it's a combination. Actually, I think she was very naive when she was elected, and so she was easily manipulated by the party that got her in. And I think she's actually waking up to the idea that she serves a certain body of people. So I think it's part voters. And I think it's also part waking up. A lot of these women that come in on the GOP ticket actually do believe in God. They're not using God as a prop, and they don't understand that they themselves are props. They're like the beard of compassion
They're the honeypot.
for fascism.
But
Like
Marjorie
Erica
Taylor,
Kirk is a total beard for a very brutal regime.
but Marjorie Taylor Greene is a self-confessed Christian nationalist. So I don't believe that she's reformed. I believe that she's looking at her career in the sense that she wants to be senator. You know, she wants to be senator or governor.
She wants to be the next Nancy Pelosi, and she just wants to stay in office. And
So I don't think she's seen the light.
I believe that the woman does actually believe in a God, and I believe that she is super upset and disillusioned about the release of the Epstein files. And maybe that's a Christian nationalist waking up from the cult that they've been in. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so.
I don't think she's reformed. I think she's modified. I think in her heart she's still the same person that we saw in the beginning, because she says the right things. Like she says, we need to dial back the hateful rhetoric. We need to stop this. But did she never reached out to Ruby Freeman? And she never reached out to Ruby Shea and Freeman. She never reached out and apologized.
So in the nature of diplomacy, sure, whatever, I agree with you.
I'm going to say this. Let me say this. I don't care if she's sincere or not. I want her voice to be where it is right now. And I don't
all
care.
Hands on deck. I've got weird allies right now.
Right.
In DC, I'm friends with old school Republicans now, like old school 80s Republicans that go to bed by 9 p.m. sober, are pissed off. People are choking out at what's being done to the Constitution, what's being done in their name. Old school Republicans are now my friends. Anyone that wants to take a shot at this president, they're my friends now. And I have some weird allies.
Yeah, I agree. There was a guy, my nephew told me about this situation at one of my gigs at the beach, and I didn't even know what was going on. There was a guy in full Nazi drag. He had a swastika on his coat. He had a swastika tattoos, full on Nazi, and a black guy. And he called the black guy a nigger, and the black guy hit him, punched him down, and all the people were on the side of the Nazi. I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Did you forget the lessons that we learned growing up about, my parents' generation who just gave their lives to fight against the Nazis? Now, all of a sudden, because you're prejudiced against the black guy, you're on the side of the Nazis.
Yeah.
So I welcome Marjorie Taylor Greene. If she's going to stand up to that kind of stuff, I think we need more people on the fight, because I think we are in a very dangerous place, and having experienced it myself, it needs to be stopped now, and without voices. And I don't care if she's doing it for self-serving purposes. I want her to keep saying it. I want Thomas Massey to keep pushing back. Rand Paul.
Yeah,
all
Thomas Massey's kicking butt. He's like an old school God-loving Republican,
Yeah.
And he's not taking any guff.
Right.
That's really enjoyable. A lot of those people are terrified. Like, a lot of people don't think that death threats flow like water in politics. And I got news for you. Having worked on Mike Gravel's presidential campaign in the background, I really wasn't an employed a person on his team, but I was close friends with Jose Rodriguez and his campaign manager, Alex. And I was privy to seeing what's done on the inside. And when the late Senator Mike Gravel critiqued Hillary, he said, shame on you, Hillary, for her involvement and her vote for the Iraq war. Big anti-war senator.
Yeah.
He took number one. He threw off the entire election that Obama won and took the spot of number one after critiquing her on national television. And my buddy Alex got this call from the DNC, and of course they don't say, we're gonna throw you out a window, but he was really afraid he might be thrown out a window. I got a call. I had to go to an apartment in Arlington. He was afraid they were looking at him from across the street. Mike Gravel occasionally would hide in the cupboard spaces of places that he needed to be during his campaign to feel calm. So if that's going on there, what is going on with the mobster right now who's not afraid to threaten people in public? What he just called for, like, the arrest of all the Democrats again today, I think.
Well, I want to talk about, because the Epstein files now, they've he did an about face and it told them to sign off on the release of the Epstein file. The House and the Senate both passed it. He signed the thing, but now Pam Bondi is saying we're going to launch an investigation into all the Democrats, which preclude them by law from releasing the files.
Well, isn't it worded that they can't release what's under investigation? So if it's only the Democrats, can't they just release the GOP people that were involved with Epstein? Isn't that like a little loophole of hope?
Yeah. Maybe hope. I'm not big on hope, but yeah. The idea is like they can just claim the whole thing is under investigation. Pam Bondi looked like a deer in the headlights when people were saying, you were saying there was no such thing as first you said
the files she's been involved with the Epstein files for a long time. She was the AG in Florida.
Right. Yeah. But it was supposedly known and she did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So whatever.
And then 6 months ago, 8 months ago, she said the files were on her desk. And then 4 months ago, there were no files. They don't exist. And now they're all under investigation. Like, and somebody said, like, what keeps changing? And she said, information. We got new information. And she was stuttering. And it just seemed like a deer caught in the headlights. And we know that Trump ordered her to open an investigation. We saw he did it publicly. It wasn't like behind doors. So she could have just said that, but she didn't seem like she knew what to say. And Kash Patel, somebody said, because he's standing right behind her. And he said he's staring straight ahead. Like I was like, how do you know?
Is he able to stare ahead?
That's what how can you tell he's staring straight ahead? That's what I want to know.
Well, if you watch the press conference, if you watch his face at he tries to stay stoic, but at certain points in the conversation when you know she's lying, his eyes starts darting all over the place. Like, is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Aziz Ansari to be like, I'm sorry, America, you've been punked.
And in Todd Blanche is in that same press conference, and nobody said, none of these press people, I'm so disappointed in journalists. Nobody's got the balls to say, why does Ghislaine Maxwell have a puppy and a big screen TV? Why is she getting preferential treatment? What was the quid pro quo here that she got this? Nobody has the balls to ask that question.
And not just that, but why is Kash Patel's girlfriend getting FBI protection and chauffeur?
Right, when she's no one in country singing, we're all like, who?
Yeah.
What is it? Isn't it like his name, Donald Trump's name, appears like 1,500 times in the Epstein files, even after they've redacted so many? There's like 1,000 agents that were hired in February to just start redacting stuff.
Well,
so they've been scrubbing for a while.
It may be more because, sometimes they don't call Donald Trump. They call him the dog that doesn't bark. So they could have other euphemisms for Donald Trump. So as far as we know, it could be 1,500 minimum. We don't even know what
my mom needs.
We don't even know the other names that they call him in there.
Right.
I know it. I call him in private. And
Cheeto? You call him Cheeto?
Yeah. Just one more thing on this whole thing. Virginia Guthrie. Virginia Guthrie's ghostwriter came out yesterday and said she has she's going to release all the names, and I'm like, why would you put yourself in that kind of danger? Just release the names. Don't say you have them. Because we've seen people get suicided. Why are you even taking that chance? Just release it and run away. Don't say I have this, or at least give copies to somebody you can trust or something.
Right.
Like
I don't understand why it's being held, I guess, for book sales. I mean, I'm so cynical at this point. Everybody's got to make money. Like, if you are speaking out in any way, generally you need to be making money. So she's holding back the names so Virginia's book will sell.
Yeah.
Does Virginia have a foundation? Is it all going to the ghostwriter right now?
I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I mean,
It's
I know
also
why.
interesting. I mean, I know why the women are speaking up. I mean, it's like rape and domestic violence is the epidemic in America that no one wants to talk about.
Right.
And it happens so much more than most polite men are aware. It happens so much more than most quasi-violent men are aware.
Yeah. Well, now it's not just women that are coming out. I mean, a lot of boys males are coming out saying they were raped while they were teenage boys.
I'm so glad that men are speaking up about that, because male rape is the taboo, right? I mean, it's very demoralizing to men to be overpowered in that way.
Yeah.
And to be penetrated is, as rape victims or survivors will tell you, women will tell you, it's horrifying when someone enters you without permission. I'm so grateful that male voices are speaking up about that, because there's no shame in having been violated. If more people spoke up about it.
Well, as long as they don't speak up about it on this show while calling Matt a liberal, hack.
What that guy called? No, he called me
a liberal. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what he called me.
Yeah, so don't come we have empathy, but don't come on this show complaining that you were raped in prison and then accuse Matt of being a liberal shield or whatever, shield or something.
Well, that guy, I didn't have a whole empathy for him in the first place, because he supported a rapist and then he got raped, and it's like it's hard to have empathy if you're supporting somebody.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're welcome to come on and have the conversation. Just be careful what names you call Matt.
Yeah.
I was actually called both of us. He referred to both of us, but only one of us responded.
I kept poking Matt though on the chat, and I was like, I'm going to subconsciously keep poking at Matt until he gets pissed at this dude.
Well,
and he didn't. I was at home. I was like, fuck yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, I could take a poking. I when a guy who comes on and is adamant that first of all, he's a criminal, a 3-time criminal who went to jail, and he's a Trump supporter, and all I'm doing is pushing back on his criminal behavior, and then he calls me a libtard. I'm like, oh, fuck you, man. Get off my show.
That would have been nice if that was all you said, Matt. But
what did I say?
I'm glad you got ass raped in prison.
I did say that.
Yeah, you said that.
I need to isolate that as a soundbite and put it on my board for our podcast.
Matt had it isolated at one point.
It is a reel that went out there. I think YouTube made me pull it down. You can't. But listen, the guy, he supports rape. He supports a rapist, and then he's surprised when it happens to him, and then he wants sympathy for it. I'm sorry, you can't have it that way.
Yeah, Elizabeth, that's like Charlie Kirk advocating for gun deaths. A certain amount of gun deaths are reasonable every year. So, he died by the gun. I'm supposed to weep for him?
Yeah,
he told us how to behave.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk, to me, it's the ultimate in irony. That's, he's okay with gun deaths as long as we have the Second Amendment. So, okay. And then when it happens to you, you want the nation to cry for you, and he has become a martyr.
One of my corporate deadhead friends, I mean, she went into accounting, I think, or IT coding.
Yeah.
But deadhead friend from way back in high school, 1988, we saw Jerry Garcia and Bruce Hornsby together at RFK, and she's been going to the shows ever since. Was reading my profile and Facebook, and she saw that I wrote live by the gun, die by the gun. And she told me that was the most hateful thing I could ever say about Charlie Kirk. And I was like,
oh no, I've said worse.
I say worse than
yeah, I know. I said, you're cut off, corporate deadhead. Click.
Yeah.
But I was shocked. I was shocked to see the people that supported him.
I'm
Very shocked from her.
I'm surprised because somebody who is very far right in the Trump world, a friend requested me the other day, and I went to look at his profile, and it's friends in common, and you came up first. I was like, wow, Elizabeth is more tolerant than me, because I can't have, especially when they're extremely vocal about their support of being happy. This is what I voted for. You voted for ICE beating up innocent people, not getting out real hardcore criminals, but just profiling people because their skin color is a little dark or they happen to be in a neighborhood. You voted for that, and they say that right out loud. I can't be friends with. How do you have a conversation or even let those people in your lives in order and allow them to kind of argue with you on stuff? So you are more tolerant than I am.
You think that I'm tolerating them arguing with me? Did I
Well,
ever argue?
you keep them in your lives because or you keep connection to them. I can't.
Well, I can't help but have a connection to them. I mean, I have 3 lazy Nazi brothers that I don't discuss, that I cut directly off. I'm adopted, and I have an adopted family that's wonderful and diverse. And then I have these blood relatives that found me when I was 36 through questionable means, bribes, seals broken, whatever. I'm glad that they found me. And I have these 3 full-blooded brothers and 3 half-sisters. And the 3 half-sisters are raised in democratic circumstances. Their mother is raised as blue. When she met my birth father, who was a presidentially decorated DC police officer by Ronald Reagan for rescuing a homeless man in a car that was about to explode, and the Capitol police officer just wanted to let the car explode. He happened to be caught on a news camera rescuing the man that he couldn't stand watching burn, and was acknowledged for it. He, as I understand, was blue, but my birth mother is a wretched alcoholic, and she seems to have a path of sobriety where they identify where the addict identifies everything that they love and have a passion for as a symptom of their addiction. So she went from seeing Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, and of course not remembering that, to swinging all the way to the right and loving Trump. And I mean, it really seemed to me like willful ignorance. Like she got a little bit of a joy out of it. She's got, we have first American blood in our family. There was a lumberjack and an indigenous woman who met on FDR's lumber jobs. And she was feeding the lumberjacks, and he was a lumberjack. And we have this blessed mixed heritage of Irish, Polish, French. We thought it was Italian, and indigenous blood, Potawatomi. But she went from being a first American to cheering for the white guy, cheering for the cowboy, loves the idea of being a tamed savage, so to speak. So that's someone that's very warped. She raised my brothers primarily. I don't know that they got much of an education. I know that my youngest brother, lazy Nazi number 3, he was abused wretchedly by the other 2 brothers growing up. Nazi number 2, the middle kid, he's a felon. So, little details, something about turning semi-automatics into automatics, something like that. Something that your cop dad would show you.
You just file down the SEER. You just file down the SEER notches.
And yeah. And
Wow.
apparently every boy knows that stuff. Girls got to go out of their way to get that stuff. Boys learn that on the playground. And then Nazi number 1, who's my brother I tried to save, the salvageable one. I thought I occasionally unblock him and send him texts because he was really big into Trump exploiting all of the child blood drinkers with the Epstein files, really deep into Q. I shut my mouth for a year and a half and listened to him.
Wow,
And really,
that's
really,
amazing.
yeah, no, I shut my mouth for a year and a half, and I really listened to what he believed. I was trying to figure out his psychology. And you know, what I've determined is that they take these uncollege educated people, and then they feed them these and they're very intelligent. My brother's very smart in some ways, and they give him a mystery, a scintillating mystery, like the hippies always proclaimed, you know, the CIA was behind Grateful Dead, or the Monarch Project, something like that, where there are dead ends in the logic and in the evidence. And they drop these seeds for these folks to figure it out. So now their mind is occupied, and they're highly committed, and their self-esteem is invested in figuring out this Q thing. And then finally, after a year and a half with my brother, he started spewing anti-Jewish stuff at me. And I was like, there it is. There it is. And I couldn't anymore.
Yeah, I have.
I couldn't anymore. And he doesn't care. Like, I've cut the entire blood family off with very few exceptions, because there's my blood mother, who is GOP, and her sons, two of which were at January 6th. Apparently, according to them, they did not go to the Capitol. But I'm happy to give their names to Jamie Raskin anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's
you
my
know
Democratic
Raskin?
side of the family.
Do you know Jamie Raskin?
I do. I ran I ran against Jamie for Congress, and he's a lovely person. We all call him the professor in our neighborhood, since he is a constitutional law professor at American University.
So why did you run it? 'Cause I like him, and I wouldn't say I agree with him.
You know, I put it in quotes, against. I didn't really run to win. I knocked myself out in the primary. Someone else from the Green Party ran against him. I was happy with my 6 votes. I didn't go door to door. I ran for Congress to memorialize a friend, the late great Jay Marks, and he was a member of the Green Party. And I picked up his platform because I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. I was so bereaved by his death. And someone suggested that I do this. And I thought, oh, as a comic and an activist, I would be very interested to see behind the scenes. So I adapted his platform, knew I wasn't going to win because I'm running Green Party. Like, David Trone actually ran against Jamie Raskin. And David Trone has so much money from his Pennsylvania liquor store days that I could line my guinea pig cages with his political mailings. I mean, he really wanted Jamie Raskin's seat. I did not want it. But the Green Party platform is so pro-Palestine that it was very much like I was opposed by Jamie's constituents, who terrified me. I mean, I didn't have a very specific opinion as to what would resolve the conflict there. I have very specific feelings about the conflict. I'm nonviolent. I don't think anyone should be living in an apartheid situation. I think it was Rabin who would snip the balls of terrorists by going after their banking and their financing, instead of Netanyahu, who just had Qatar finance Hamas and funnel them all of this money so they could practice their action, etc. But that's like a whole conversation as to how Netanyahu is keeping Palestine from being unified.
Right.
And where was I? So I'm on a rant.
We're talking.
We're-
You know what I was
Tipping the
interested in the
balls
way
of terrorists are fun. Let's go back to that. That was good.
the way you were introducing Nazi number one, Nazi number two, Nazi. I felt like we were on a dating game.
Yeah.
Nazi number one.
Right. No, it's really sad. You know, I was given the best upbringing that my parents could do. And I'm very grateful for it. And I received an education. I trained under Steven Seagal. I work out in a martial art that is designed to refine your aggression, so that if you're met with aggression, you counter it. Say an ICE agent grabs you by the collar and you counter it. You are not held liable for the assault. Like, we don't throw punches in Aikido. I mean, we do. When we practice the Aikido, we're like, okay, you attack me, you punch me to our partner. And so in order to give a good attack, we learn how to punch. But the actual technique in Aikido is not a punch. It's called an atemi. It's an open hand. It's an empty hand. It goes into the face. It can go into the throat. But when you are on videotape and the police are looking at you defending yourself, you can say, I didn't have a fist, officer. Yeah. I wasn't making fists. Yeah. I was moving him out of the way.
I want to highlight this comment here where Jack Britton, if you Americans don't like Donald, feel free to send him here. I'm sure we can swap leaders.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to go. Where is that from?
I think the sentiment there's a lot of anti-Muslim sentiment in England, and I get that. But do you not know that Trump just the other day hosted the Crown Prince like he was a good friend of his? And this is a guy. So if you're anti-Muslim and you think Donald Trump is your friend,
he's had them all up in there. He's had ISIS. He's had Qatar. He's had.
He's got money.
He's had the Saudis.
Yeah.
You know, isn't he cutting a deal on Gaza with the Saudis? Saudis probably want in on Gaza oil real bad.
Well, he's also trying to cut a deal with the Saudis on Sudan.
Yeah. And he was like trying to make excuses. Well, something's happened to that guy, that poor journalist.
Things happen.
Things happen. You get your head. Anybody can get their head cut off. It just happens.
And just yesterday, I saw somebody in the kitchen who got their head accidentally cut off.
I could go down Fifth Avenue and cut off someone's head, and nobody would stop me.
Yeah, I think if he was right about anything, that Fifth Avenue comment seems to be the most accurate comment he's ever made, because I see people who still just don't believe any negative press about him. And we live in a time where the both sidesism is still a big thing. And I was like, there was a point where I would have been with you. Both sides are corrupt. Both sides. There had never been the kind of corruption that we are seeing, and the just lack of morals, ethics, constitutions, or believe in institutions, like we're seeing on the right.
Human trafficking mob circle, grand geopolitical international cabal of terrorism for fun and profit. Hamas was not. Hamas leadership got out of Gaza. They expanded with the money that they made. Bibi made them billionaires. They bought property in Turkey, according to the numerous articles that I read, you know, because now you got to go, oh, is this a credible source? Is this a credible source? Is this a credible source? So when I was organizing the protest against George Bush back in 2000, remember those days when he was the most corrupt guy? Like, George Bush is on my side now. Dick Cheney is an ally. Where are we into the dystopia that I get along with a man that shot his buddy with birdshot? But I am in agreement with him on a lot of things. I'm very grateful J.D. Vance was not invited, or Trump was invited to Dick Cheney's funeral.
Oh, it's so weird. It's so
but how weird is it to be in bed with a war criminal against this fetid fat fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's the point I make to a lot of people who call themselves conservatives. It's like and they would call Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney like liberal, like woke radical liberals. I was like, the Cheneys? Do you know anything about politics at all?
He let his daughter live. She's a lesbian. He should have burned her at the stake. What a liberal.
Yeah.
He didn't sacrifice a child to retrieve those hearts. He took them from organ donors. What a radical liberal.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Jack is saying patriotic doesn't mean anti-Muslim, and he wasn't anti-Muslim. I didn't accuse Jack of being anti-Muslim. I said there's a lot of anti-Muslim sentiment in the UK now.
And what exactly does patriotic mean? Exactly.
All those religions can go. They're all fighting. Jewish, Christian, be it Catholic or whatever, and Muslim, all Abrahamic religions, all believing in one God, all believing in a male God, look at all the patriarchal religions fighting against each other. It's almost like they're male driven.
Yeah.
I really prefer, give me old school chaos in a cauldron, and I'll come up with my own prayers. Thank you.
Well, I'm still hoping that when the aliens do come, whether it's my species or not, when they come, if it's all just and they want it to be a matriarchal society, I'm here for it.
That's great. Yeah, no, I like the bonobos. The bonobos are matriarchal system of monkeys, species of monkeys, and the women run the situation. They have male and female lovers. The women get in a circle and decide which men are in and which men are out. And they don't fight.
based on I think I'm trying to think. I don't want to say penis size, but I'll say about how accommodating it is.
Sexual satisfaction.
Yes.
I would say that
you don't have to have a large penis to be
right. That's what I said. That's what I was
You
saying.
don't.
It's not necessarily size. It's more a matter of
my life.
Hey, yeah, I know he's small, but he eats me out so well. Let's keep Michael in the monkey clan.
Yeah.
And
not to be
Michael's really talented.
Not to be patronizing here, but I've had many careers within the corporate world and small business world, and I've worked for a number of female CEOs, and they were the best executives that I ever worked for, and also a senior vice president of when I worked for a corporation called Cablevision, which is now Altice. Jenna Toner was the senior vice president there. She was the most competent senior executive I ever saw. The only reason she wasn't CEO was because of nepotism. James Dolan, who was the son of Chuck Dolan, was the CEO, but he was an idiot. And if it wasn't for Jenna Toner keeping him in line and fixing all his mistakes, that company would have failed. But the most competent senior executives I've ever worked for were women. So there's that. So
if I could address the chat room, if you really truly believe that Matt should go seek medical attention after this show, please sound off now.
Why? Because
of wheezing? I am all for Matt seeking medical attention. Like a man bringing an assault case against ICE is great, and while it does put your life in danger for another hit, it does help promote your show.
It does.
But then, as a survivor of assault and understanding, because I am a person with a voice that gets in front of people, so I automatically make myself a target, and I believe that's one of the reasons why I've been targeted and assaulted so many times. At some point, you've got to pick and choose your assaults that you're going to charge.
Right.
Like,
you could
if I
actually
were
have,
to see Matt Napo in a bar and grab his ass and get a good chunk of it and shake it around, that's an assault. But are you going to call the cops on me and waste your time with that when you got a boot to the fucking head by ICE?
Yeah,
and
but
I've been watching you, Matt Napo. I've been watching you on the X. I have to operate under an alias account that someone mistakenly gave me because I got kicked off for my views on Gaza. All I did was tag Netanyahu and make sure he saw that Nancy Pelosi called his entire appearance in Congress an abomination. But that was enough. I was thrown out. And I've been watching you, Matt. You've been trolling Rogan. You've been trolling all these mofos with excellence, with great accuracy. I love it, and it's been relentless. I would love to see you press assault charges against ICE.
I appreciate that. Here's the reason I didn't do that is because I think there was only one witness, eyewitness to this thing, and it was the girl in the deli who I bought the bottle of water from, and she wasn't necessarily looking to be dragged into something like this, and like. It's my word against.
Actually, there's more than one witness, though, right? Was the guy wearing gloves when he grabbed your collar?
No, not that
his
I remember.
DNA is on your clothing.
Got DNA.
Yeah, his DNA is on your clothing.
Here's the thing: if you were thrown to the ground and they applied this pressure, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you are an older guy, Matt, which means also that you don't have that nice stretchiness between your ribs anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always a possibility that the symptoms that you're experiencing now could actually be from that. You could actually have pleurisy,
because
you could have fluid in your lungs, you could have a tiny pneumo.
Yeah, there's a period of grace, right? Because if someone's coming after you, like this club owner once tried to slam my head on the concrete, and he wound up dragging me down his sidewalk backwards and swinging my body right to left until someone pulled me out of the chokehold. And I didn't know how hurt I was until all the adrenaline wore off and all the anesthetic, the anesthetic chemicals in your blood wore off. And then I realized just how hurt I was by this guy.
Yeah.
So, and then there's definitely psychological damage. How are you getting out? How are you getting out in the house? Like, I would be so terrified that ICE would come for me again.
I have definitely, I said this to GD a couple of times. I'm not stopping for anything ever again because I don't know what neighborhood I'm in. And that is definitely a psychological effect of this. It's like, I could be dying of thirst. I'm not stopping for water again.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely understand that. I've had so many things happen to me, and I've had so many people work against me, and comparatively speaking, there are 10 times as many people that have worked in my favor. But I've had things happen to me so much where I'm prepared for it to come from a close associate. I'm prepared for it I don't trust anyone anymore immediately. I don't trust my surroundings anymore immediately. I'm constantly scoping out for safety the exit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in charge of Christmas for Montgomery Mall. I'm going to be managing Santa, and we had a safety meeting, and I asked the mall security what happens in an emergency, and bro was like, you'll hear if it's a mass shooting, you'll hear people will be running and screaming. There are 4 public exits. I'm like, hey man, how about that secret corridor over there? Are we going to take Santa out, or are we going to be the mall that flew Santa, that trampled Santa in the mass exit from the mass shooting? I'm very careful now. I always have a plan.
So I do feel a bit of guilt about not reporting this, but I know I'm not doing it out of cowardice. I just want to be clear about that. I'm not afraid for myself. It's
so time consuming.
Yeah, and it feels like it wouldn't work anyway. And then
you might be laughed at by the cops.
Yeah.
And ridiculed. My friend Zilly, thank you for letting me interrupt you.
No.
My friend Zilly was assaulted. And she had a crazy boyfriend that was stalking her in Taos, New Mexico. And I shouldn't have said the area, but she got on the phone with law enforcement, and they thought she was on hold, and they were laughing at her. They were like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, she's a bartender. She gets in trouble all the time. She's always asking for it. Oh yeah, we know that. Ah ha 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 ha. Now she wants protection. Ah ha 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 ha.
No, that's why you just pick those people out yourself.
She had to call the State Department.
Yeah.
Or not the State Department. She had to call the state police to get any sort of action. done or taken.
One person I did talk to who happens to be a cop, he said, "Why didn't you just cooperate and tell the guy your ID's in the car?" I thought I was getting robbed. He didn't identify himself in any way other than excuse me, shouting at me with a black mask on. It didn't click right away. Oh, this must be ICE. He's wearing a black mask. I'm thinking this is just a thug on the street in a place that I'm not familiar with. So
and thugs on the street are impersonating ICE agents because ICE agents are acting with the authority of street thugs, and rapists are apprehending women and taking them to undisclosed locations. And it doesn't really matter. They're hiring so many thugs within ICE. It doesn't really matter whether they're ICE or not. They're probably thugs.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
People are failing their tests and they're hiring them anyway. What?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you are someone who's in that organization or not in that organization or impersonating that organization, what are they really going to do if I freaking beat the crap out of them and choke them out?
Right.
Sorry. I don't know who you are. You don't identify yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you are ICE, you don't identify yourself. So guess what? I have every right to choke you out.
That is definitely a Gestapo thing. Is like we don't have to show you any ID. We could just pull up and take you. No due process.
Yeah, they shot a man to death in Chicago, and they took that marathon runner out of his car and broke his ribs, kneeling on his ribs. I think he was like 73.
Yeah.
He was an older marathon runner on his way from his running group to the marathon.
And he also drove off with a toddler in a car.
Yeah,
1-year-old, I think.
The public child trafficking, like trafficking children and humans right in front of our face.
One thing I'm encouraged by is, the day after my little run-in, there was a settlement on Long Island for hundreds of people who had complaints against ICE. Again, they're not just going after criminals. They're profiling and saying, "Oh, you look brown enough. We can go after you." But now there's a group of high school students that are going around and filming. They're going around and finding ICE and just following them with video cameras and all this stuff. ICE isn't trying to intimidate them, but I love these kids for.
I do too. I'm madly in love with them. That is great. They're minors, so they get so much more sympathy and protection. B, that's some fearless stuff. C, kids are quick.
Yeah.
That is fantastic, and that's the kind of ballsy fearlessness we need.
Yeah, those little fat ICE fucks are not going to be able to catch a kid because they couldn't catch the guy on the bicycle.
Oh my God. What is it with hiring bubbas? They're overrun with the bubba stereotype, man. I'm like, pull your pants up. It used to be plumber crack. Now it's ice crack. I'm like, how are you,
Yeah, the cracks in the ice has a whole new meaning now.
Oh, Mandela, it is vulgar.
Ian says next Matt's going to get a lawyer on the show and tell me he's got a case. The day after I did that little short, I put that short out, I got contacted by 3 different lawyers who said they wanted to take my case. And I was like, I don't want to go there because then I become publicized about it.
Then you'll be targeted, man.
Yeah.
There's no feeling like being targeted, being a known target.
It's not just me, too. I just want to be clear about this. If it were just me, if I weren't married and had a family to worry about, then
Matt, you don't have to worry about me. I'll be okay. I know you're worried about me. Don't worry about me.
That's the horror that we're dealing with is, when does it come to my family? Like, you have this horror where it's I don't know anyone that's being abducted by ICE. I can live my normal life. Oh, a couple of people. Oh, the guy that did my backyard just got nabbed. Oh, the guy that washed my car just got nabbed. Oh, hey, wait a minute. They're like, I can't speak up about those guys because I have other people to protect.
Yeah.
And horrifying.
I got to address this. Jack Britton is saying now that they're trying to bring in law here for police to enter anyone's house without permission just to search and question anybody with no reason or excuse. And you want Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump is all for that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. I've been not reaching out, but I've been commenting in the chat room for Jack because the disillusionment that they have with Trump. No, Trump is not on your side.
Yeah,
He's a fucking autocrat. He does not give a shit about patriotism. What you think is patriotism? Okay, Trump uses the word patriotism. He uses the words America first, but he's using America first like they did back when the Nazis were a thing. Okay, he's using it back in like the 1940 sense. He's not saying America first like in I want to protect Americans. I want to protect American rich and billionaires and autocrats. That's what he wants. So you people, especially, and I'm addressing to you, Jack, particularly since you have this fondness for Trump, it's an illusion and a delusion. And the longer you hold on to it, the worse it's going to be when you find out the truth about him.
Absolutely. He is definitely for unquestioned search and seizure and the idea that the police should be able to do anything they want. And they should be able to, he campaigned on police being able to brutally abuse people, even though they haven't gone to trial yet. They're just being arrested. They should be able to beat the shit out of them. He campaigned on that. Like, you're accepting.
Yeah, he was like, what, knock him upside the head a little extra.
If you're paying attention to what's going on over here, Trump has an enemies list that he's going after. He's using ICE as police. He had the border patrol going into a town where that was like 180 miles away from any border, and the border patrol don't have any jurisdiction beyond 100 miles of the border.
Right.
The man does not give a fuck about law. He does not give a fuck about the Constitution. He does not give a fuck about your rights.
It's so funny that Comey got off on paperwork.
Yeah.
Like they indicted Comey incorrectly, so he can't be charged. I think
they didn't even really indict him. She never went to the grand jury with the stuff. Like, holy shit! Even listen. She went to law school and passed the bar. How did she?
But she was attractive. That's why they picked her.
I get it, but
pliable.
She went to law school and passed the bar. How do you not know that what an indictment really means? You got to go to the grand jury and get an indictment.
Here's the rub. She did have an indictment. What she didn't do was that she modified it because she brought 3 charges. She got indictments on 2 of the 3, and so her original charging statement or whatever it is that she had to modify it before she presented it to the judge to remove the 1 where there was a no bill, and to only have the 2 where she got the indictments. Wow. She did not bring that back to the grand jury. She just had the foreman sign off on it. So the grand jury did give her indictments on it, but she modified it, and so that's where the rub is.
Yeah,
But also the fact that
she grateful they're dumb. I'm so grateful.
But also the fact that she misrepresented what the law was when she presented it to the grand jury. She didn't state the law as it actually is. She twisted it so that it fit what she had with Comey, not what the actual law is.
They're all pedophiles. What Matt gets is little sex scandal is a 17-year-old girl living in a halfway home trying to make money to get braces.
Yeah.
So disturbing and upsetting.
And so not even caring about it that he let her pay. He paid her with PayPal or Venmo or what, like with a receipt for it. Like,
so
Jesus.
Vulgar.
If you're gonna pay minors for sex, just a little tip. If you're gonna pay minors for sex,
Jack, this is the last time I'm gonna. I hope this is the last time I'm gonna do this. I honestly, I don't care if you change your mind or not. That's not where what I'm trying to say is I want you to be clear-headed about why you're supporting Trump. Okay, because if you're supporting Trump for false reasons, okay, I'm not for Trump. I don't like anything he stands for. As a matter of fact, Trump could come in my house right now and say, GD, I want to give you $1 million. I say, really, at what cost? Get the fuck out my house before I shoot you. Okay? There's nothing that man can do for me other than die. Okay, and maybe pardon a few of my friends. But that's it.
So absurd that one of my friends recently was brought to my attention by other mutual associates as a supporter of Trump, that he voted for Trump, and he is an African-American law professor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
I am floored.
You said idiot? I thought you said idiot. I'm sorry. Did you say idiot?
Yes, I did, JD.
Oh,
GD.
okay.
Okay. You know, I just saw before today's show there was a reel with Tommy Chung and a African American lawyer, and the African American lawyer was for Trump, and Tommy wasn't having any. I never saw Tommy get angry before. And he called the guy a fucking retard. He said, "You couldn't be more stupid if you practiced." It was just wonderful to see, because you don't see Tommy get really
very
bad.
seldom see him upset. No, he's usually
He doesn't
too
lose
chill
his temper
to,
easy.
yeah.
But he was in this reel, and it was a thing to behold. It's time to wrap things up. Elizabeth, thank you so much, and I want to publicly, first of all, say thank you for all you've done with supporting the show and getting us some great guests. I have this painting here that I've done for you that I want to get to you. I don't know how to get it to you. It's that
great.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. So,
oh my gosh, thank
tell me-
you. I'm
tell
really
me how.
touched.
Yeah, in the DMs or something, just give me information on where I can get it to you.
I sure will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Before we go, man, I just want to plug church. For those of you who are in the area and you want to go to the Church of Satire, Church of Satire tonight, our show starts at 7. It's myself, David Yakeley, Walter Gottlieb, and Sandy Bernstein as the Beaver.
That's
Funny
so
old farts.
funny. That's a great lineup. I love Walter and Sandy.
Funny old farts. Now, if you cannot be at the show, you can stream it on Plausible, PLAUZZABLE.com.
That's great.
Plausible.com/GD Fenderson. So you don't have to be there to enjoy the show.
And I'll be there December 12th.
Yeah, and yes, the Queen will be there December 12th.
With
and
Bob
my new
Kitson?
podcast with Alan Katz, What Makes Us Laugh, has dropped, and it is available everywhere that you can get a podcast.
Don't drop it.
So
it could break. So yeah, why didn't we have the Plausible link in the description? Why didn't you remind me to do that? Because you're negligent. That's why.
I am negligent. I am.
Yeah,
I'll do better. I'll do better with the Michigan show. Spotlight on Insanity.
Before we go, Elizabeth, do you have a movie thing or something coming up? I thought I had heard you mention something about a part in a movie.
I'm headlining the Church of Satire 12/12 with Patrice Duveau, Bob Kitson, and myself. Bob and Patrice are doing a half hour. I'm doing an hour. We're taping. I'm hoping that Bob has his Comedy Central special in the bag by the time we're done.
I got to reach out to Bob to get him on to promote.
And then I'm just working with Dustin Sweet on pre-production on a number of movies. I love that guy. I loved what your show was with all of you together there. You had just entertained vets. Dustin just finished screening Apache Blues, his movie about the Vietnam platoon that had to deal with CBS embedded with them. And to hear him be given such a lovely platform to discuss that work was just great.
Yeah, I totally enjoyed that show, and thank you again for all the Dan Pasternak. All
his birthday was yesterday. Wasn't that great?
Yeah,
Dan is amazing.
Yeah,
he's always going, this is so-and-so's birthday. This is so-and-so's birthday. This person contributed this. Happy birthday, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for all the nice things that Matt made you say about me.
I didn't make him. He wanted to.
So, Elizabeth, you want to come back before December 12th to remind people about the show, and also.
Yeah, I'd like to bring Bob and Patrice on.
Well, I will reach out to Bob.
Has Ryan been on here?
Yeah.
I love Jim.
Yeah.
He just had a show where
I've given up on getting. I've been trying to get Jim Brown on this show since I've been on this show. I've reached out to him, and he says he can't do it. He's just too busy. That's what he told me. And I keep reminding him and asking him. He tells me he's too busy. He can't do it.
Well, he is setting up that back room for his podcast.
Yeah,
and
but
he does have a small basketball team of children.
I've been asking for.
I don't get the breeding thing.
I think I've been on the show. I think I've been on the show for like 2 years now, and I've reached out to him more times than I've reached out to anybody else.
Well, that's motivation for me to reach out and for him to say yes. I'm just gonna be like, Jim, GD can't get you on the show. Please come on Matt's show.
Yeah, I think it's been like 3 years, GD, because I was looking at it last night, and we've had one of the Barry Katz was 510 shows ago, And you
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been watching Gigi's career, and that's how I got to learn who you are, Matt, is through Gigi.
Yeah.
You guys are great together.
Thank you very much for that.
I love your podcast, Matt. I love your whole studio setup. It looks like you're driving a spaceship. I aspire to something that cool. I've been cleaning my aging family's home, my parents' home, for years, and I finally got it to a point where my basement studio is taking shape, but it's not perfect yet.
Yeah. Well, I like being in the dark. Charlie Rose used to have that set on PBS where it was a dark studio with cable. I like that look. So
it was very dramatic. No,
yeah.
I adore it. And GD's always got a great backdrop. And it's nice to see Beavers out of the closet. Is that a closet behind you, Beavers?
Oh, this is my office.
Oh, nice.
There's a closet behind me, though, but this is my office.
All right. It's good to have Beavers out of the office. And here's a real quick plug for your Thanksgiving entertainment. Stan Freberg presents The United States of America, one of the greatest satirical albums about our country and capitalism ever.
Wow.
Fantastic. Cool. As an Indigenous First American, I say the song Take an Indian to Lunch is not racist, and you should take me to a lunch.
Yeah. All right.
At least a brunch. I'll settle for brunch.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great day, and don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now. Come on. What's going on? It's not clicking. GD, click the button for me. Turn on the radio. GD, are you with me? Can you click that turn on the radio button? For some reason, it's not working.
I'm not touching.
I
me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.